man.
On camera?
Oh, yeah.
Streaming.
We are, as far as it's concerned, live. Though we won't actually know who has good vision. Yes, I can't read that.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Every couple of minutes, Shane's going to go in front of the camera and find questions.
Are we live? Someone make a comment.
Supposedly we're live, but we don't know.
How do you zoom in?
I don't know. It's your computer, dude.
No, there's a way to zoom in.
Oh, shit, dog.
But
you're gonna have audio feedback. We had this mistake last time.
Oh
No, you just put up a different video.
Let's go.
There's a lot of mistakes happening.
Why are we watching a commercial?
Okay, hold on. I gotta figure out how to zoom in on here.
Sorry, everybody.
I need to figure out the command for zooming in.
Isn't it like Control Plus?
Control plus.
It's Alt F4.
Don't. That's not funny.
Pretty sure it's Control Plus.
Oh, we're live.
Oh, Swoo was right.
I don't remember. I blacked out. That's all that cough syrup I had earlier.
Nerd.
All right, so.
Somebody said we're back at the Canadian shenanigans.
Yes.
Farva.
All right. So as
What's
far
the
as
restaurant?
we know, everything seems to be going. Hi, hello.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Okay, I'm Adam. I think you might know me because you're watching this channel. So I'm back in Canada, up in the greater Toronto area. We're doing, I'm with Shane, my buddy, Rerez. You guys, if you haven't subscribed to him, I don't know what the hell your deal is. You should have subscribed to him.
Yeah, you should.
We're going to move in here. And I'm with Scott, the Canadian. I'm not sure where he's from. But that's terrible.
Canada.
This is just awful. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
It's okay. Anyway, he has a channel too. You don't have to subscribe to that one. He has 7 subscribers. He had 6 before the previous stream that we did. One of you guys is Aces. You actually went out and got this. You gave him views when he has no videos.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I have one video.
Yeah. You have one, what is your video?
It's cliff jumping.
Cliff jumping. What's your one video? Oh, he's a few. That's right. You should try
Yeah,
him
I think
instead.
I got more than.
Yeah, he's
more
got more than one. I think there's at least 2. So you should check him out. But anyway, so we thought it was fun to do Q&A last time, just answer a bunch of your questions, and yeah, we're gonna do it again. And we'll probably do this for what, like an hour maybe?
I'd imagine so. Yeah.
So first I want to extend a thank you to Shane because he let us film in his place. As you can see, that's why it actually looks good and sounds good and all that shit, as opposed to my place, but that's never the case. So yeah, thanks. Now I apologize. Our setup is a little awkward here. As you can see, I'm gonna have to like scroll up from time to time. So we're gonna do some power questions because I imagine these things are gonna start rolling in kind of quick. So ACG Yuri says, first question, are you excited about the Call of Duty 4 remaster? Thank you, Shane, for moving. I need to lose weight. Thanks for pointing it out. I got it. I know it. Call of Duty 4 remaster. Who's excited about that? Anyone? Does anyone care?
The Call of Duty remaster?
Call of Duty 4 remaster.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like.
Oh, that was driving you mental, wasn't it?
It was just seeing that blue bar.
He's OCD. I am too. But I was trying to get to the questions. Okay.
I'm horrible at the Call of Duty multiplayer.
Oh, yeah,
The
I don't care at
campaigns
all.
are pretty fun, I guess.
I'm not too excited about. Well, it's like I already played the game, and everyone's like, "Hey, isn't it good they're remastering a game from the Xbox 360?" I'm like, "But it was already at 1080p at 60 frames per second. Who cares?"
Yes, but have you played GoldenEye Source? That's a remaster, and that's fantastic.
Yeah, but
It
see, that
is
was
amazing.
on a system that didn't even have
Yeah, that's true.
optical discs. You know what I mean? Like we're literally one generation behind them. We're
Didn't
just
have
getting
dual
an update.
analog, but now you play it in dual analog, and it's amazing.
I suppose that's true.
See, I'm not sure if he's asking on the basis of like the game itself we're excited or like the controversy of the release. Like where you can only get it digitally by buying like the super collector's edition of Call of Duty, whatever the fuck, 2K17 or whatever it is.
I don't know. That doesn't really seem to bother me too much because if you're really interested in buying the game, then just get that game. Like get whatever the edition is that will get you that game. Because at the end of the day, that's the cost to buying that game. Would you rather they had sold it for like $60 by itself?
It's true, but if I was a huge Call of Duty guy, I'd probably be pretty excited.
Yeah.
I am not, so sorry. Let's go to the top here. My beard is amazing. Thank you. I appreciate that. I should consider moving to Canada. Sorry, that's unlikely to occur. Nothing against it, of course. How many Dreamcast do I have? I don't know. I don't keep track, man. I do, but I don't remember what the hell the number
Even
is.
I have like 4.
Yeah, he's got 4, and he's
I keep
Scott.
picking them up for cheap.
Hey, he comes down to my country and gets them.
I just have one.
Nerd.
$10 a piece.
Loser. Yeah, what's up with that? You should have more Dreamcast.
Why should I have more Dreamcast?
Why shouldn't
Do
you?
you want a Dreamcast? I'll
He's
give
got
you
4.
one.
Let's give you one.
I'll give you one.
Why do you, I already have one.
I'm just volunteering
Okay.
one for you.
Why do you
I
need
don't care
more?
about giving away his stuff. It's not my stuff.
Yeah.
Have I heard of the GD USB thing for Dreamcast? Yes, I have. Although, didn't they stop making those?
Isn't it like they make some and then they stop and then they make some? And
No,
they
you're
stop?
thinking of the GDMU.
Oh, okay.
I think the GD-USB guy like just stopped making them.
Am I wrong? I don't know.
I don't know.
Sometimes life gets in the way.
Yeah, I don't really care about it because I have a GDMU. What would I do if someone sent in a clone console? Well, first of all, I wouldn't accept it. I would, because people tell me in advance. And if they did, I'd probably give it to Shane or something. 'Cause I don't like clone consoles.
No.
Fuck clone consoles, man.
Yeah.
Fuck them in the ass.
Clone Wars.
Yeah, Clone Wars was good. I should watch Clone Wars. You should watch Clone Wars.
Clone Wars was not good.
Yes, it was.
Yes,
The show was
love
great. The
that I
movie
have
was
shit-
terrible.
Oh, jeez.
The movie was awful, but the show was really good.
I was gonna be just like, really? We're talking.
Robert,
about
I do love that I
Oh
have
my God.
Shenmue. Now I have Shenmue 2 European,
Yeah, you're
Shenmue
welcome.
2 Japanese, and I have Shenmue 2 for Xbox.
Yeah,
And I'll get Shenmue 3 sometime.
probably.
Sometime.
Yes, we are going to the Waterloo Game Swap tomorrow morning.
Yes.
All three of us will be there, even Scott. He was hard to book, but they got him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Had a lot going on.
He's got stuff going on.
Scott's straight up the celebrity out of the.
Oh yeah,
three of us.
it's fucked.
Yeah.
Like we're his entourage, basically.
Basically.
I mean, look, he's the only one of us who's a sir in this whole group. He's
Yeah.
fucking knighted.
Next will be on the Canadian dollar.
Yeah, you're gonna take over for the queen. She's gone. They're
Yeah,
gonna put him all over. Scott the Canadian, the currency.
I could see that.
It's all him, man. You're gonna have to pay taxes to Scott.
I could do that. But I think I'd be okay with that. 'Cause,
That's-
I know.
Sounds like a
Scott.
mistake.
So-
I like money though, so
Yeah. Well, there you go, everybody. Scott's gonna take over Canada.
no, you don't want that.
I'd be fine with it. You think Trump's gonna be bad for us? Wait till you guys have Scott.
Somebody
running the
asked, how
country.
do you feel about games being leaked?
It depends. Like you talking like prototypes and stuff. Bye, Shane. If you're talking about like
The light was in my eye the entire time.
yeah, I like it when like betas and stuff that are like unfinished games or whatever that gets leaked. I mean, who doesn't? Well, there's no real downside to that except to arguably the
Or
developers.
canceled games.
That's
always
what I'm
good.
talking about. Like,
Yeah.
there's some Dreamcast games that leaked that way that we would never, like Propeller Arena. We would never got to play that game for the Dreamcast, but it leaked.
Half-Life.
Yeah, Half-Life, stuff like that. So as long as it's not like a game that's like in development and someone like steals it and releases it for free or something, then yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, you don't want to hurt the developers.
Yeah.
They make the games.
How's the Divers 2000 holding up? Perfectly fine. Took a look at it the other day. Showed it to, I don't know who the hell I showed it to, but I showed it to somebody. It was good. No questions. Yeah, he didn't know what the hell it was. He didn't give a shit.
I know what it is.
No, not you. I was showing it to my buddy Aaron on my other channel, Game Society Pimps, and I was just showing him stuff that I have. He doesn't really care about any of it, but I was like, "Oh, look at this Divers 2000 Dreamcast, Japanese Dreamcast. Only 200 of them ever made. It's a television with a Dreamcast." And he's like, "All right."
That
Like, didn't mean anything to him. We didn't give a shit.
happens to you all the time.
Yeah, it sucks. No, you pick questions. You go. Scott's got this.
What is your least favorite gaming generation?
First.
Yeah,
Clone
mine
Clones?
too.
Fuck that. It's the same game over and over again.
I know, I just can't go back to Atari games.
No, that's second generation.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, first generation's all the Pong clone shit.
Yeah, like that one I have to choose.
What generation's NES? That's 4?
That's third.
Third? Yeah, in between 2 and 3, there's like a lot of dumb stuff going on where there's like this mass market of really stupid consoles coming out.
Oh, man, 90% of the NES library is like unplayable. A lot of those games are unplayable now.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'll say
I mean,
that.
there's a lot of stuff you could probably pick and have a good answer.
There's
So
a
I
lot
agree.
of good
I
stuff,
agree with you.
but
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff, but
Yeah, it's because the thing is like there are a lot of really bad games that get released nowadays and stuff, but at that time period I remember that there was no standards, nobody cared about anything, so just before the NES came into play there was a ton of really bad games that just existed just because they could. So that was the time.
Yeah, like Purina Dog Food making games and
Exactly.
Pepsi
stuff like
making
that.
games. Just random.
hey, Canadian Retro made a comment. Hey, Canadian Retro.
Yo, dude, we'll see you tomorrow, man.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm sorry I forgot you in my promo video, but I included a picture of you. I apologize. Yeah, I was just listing people off of memory. And I
Why do
forgot.
Shane and Scott have the same shaped hairline? I think it's because they
It's-
have like the
dude,
Dan Aykroyd like Widow's Peak style.
They're
going
both
on.
Canadians. This is what Canadians look like. What's the question?
We like Dan Aykroyd. And we like Ghostbusters.
That's what we do.
Yeah, they're basically making out over Ghostbusters.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, it does.
Do we have
I
the same
black out a
hairline?
lot.
Yeah.
I have a Widow's Peak. Like I got a haircut, so it's not as obvious.
I never pay attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hair.
It's on my head, you know what I mean? That's what it looks like.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't see up there, so I don't know what's going on. I can't see down there. That's why I can't see this shit. Everybody's like, yeah, it looks really awful or really good.
You got a beard going.
Yeah, I always have a beard going. I started shaving in the 4th grade. I'm not even joking. I really did. I started shaving in the fucking 4th grade, or grade 4.
I don't think I could ever do that.
Yeah.
I can't what year. I remember started shaving when I was about like 25 or so. That was about when it started to come in full.
Jesus.
I started shaving when I got that like one. Just like gotta shave that off.
No, I was letting it run when I was like, I can't believe I'm saying this. You guys start shaving. I'm like, are you serious? No way. I'm gonna keep it. Like, how many fourth graders have facial hair? That's awesome. But nope. That was back when I listened.
How many years were you held back for grade 4?
Unfortunately, none. That would have been cool. What if I was still there? That'd be weird.
Maybe a thing.
Yeah. Then that would be really bad for the American educational system if I was 29 and still in grade 4 or 4th grade.
That would be funny. That would be very funny.
No, eventually, I don't know what the rules are up here, but in the States, if you're 22 and you're still in high school, they just graduate you automatically. It's like, get the fuck out of here. You're a loser.
Wow, I think they don't graduate you here. I think they just go get out of the school, but I don't think they go.
I've never heard of
on your
somebody
way
having
out.
that problem.
Yeah, I mean, either. I just know it is a thing, but it wasn't my problem. All right. Shane, why don't you pick a question? You like questions.
Adam, what are your thoughts on Metal Gear Survive?
I'm not interested. I mean, the whole thing about they're just trying to cash in out before Metal Gear is completely destroyed by the absence of Kojima. I mean, yeah, no interest.
Canadian Retro says, stop by my table tomorrow before you blow all your cash at overpriced tables. Best deals in town. He says he has the best deals in town. We're going to hold him to that.
Yeah, you just might have fucked yourself there, dude. Like,
Yeah.
We're going to come over and be like, yeah, that's $5. We're like, no, that's about a nickel right there.
The guy over there has it for a penny.
I mean, we just gave you a nice shout out, so.
That guy there is paying me to take it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, he's handing me money. I'm going to use it to buy all your crap.
Metal Gear Survive is just... I don't want to play the game. I don't want to see... Like, I've seen footage of the game being played and stuff like now, and I'm just like, it's not going to be good. It's just not going to be good. And if you're an actual fan of any of the Metal Gear games, don't play it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not worth it. It's not worth your time.
Do I have a Crystal Xbox? No, I do not. The North American version was only released in Canada, so I do look for it. But at the same time, I'm not really willing to pay much of anything for it because I know it's like worthless up here.
Scott, do you have a Crystal Xbox?
No, I have two black Xboxes. One's a parts console, one's modded.
Yeah, I have one. I didn't even think anything of it when I got it.
The Crystal one?
Yeah.
They were so... I see them everywhere.
That's because they're up here. They're worthless. So we never got it. So to me, it's
I
intriguing.
used to see them at Value Village all the time, $10.
Oh, I would have got one.
Obviously not anymore, but...
Yeah, I would have got that shit.
What do you think of MAME machines?
Mean machines.
MAME.
MAME machines. I have no opinion. Didn't we
Scott?
just sign one?
I have...
No.
Was that not what that was?
Oh wait, yeah. Well,
We-
it was.
Oh,
yeah,
MAME
it was.
machines? I have a story about that. I
Alright.
bought a Mortal Kombat 2 on auction for $50 in 2005. Used to be this place in Toronto called Starburst Coin Machines. He used to do auctions every month for arcade games. It's awesome. They still do it. I think it's Palladium Store. I think they bought them.
Yeah.
They still do them, but it might be online. I don't know what they're processing now. $50, changed it into a MAME machine, had fun with it, got rid of it, and now I'm building a bar top MAME. They're fun. They're more fun to build, though, I find.
Like Legos.
Yeah, except they don't give you instructions, and you often don't have enough pieces.
Nice. Yeah, no, we signed one at ABCG, right?
Yeah. Well, what we signed was a MAME controller converter kit,
Oh.
so you could actually
Oh,
control.
wow.
It's basically so you can take a board and
ABGC.
plug it up straight to your TV, and then you can just use any controller plugged up to it. It was a neat thing. You know who should make MAME systems? I'm not even kidding. IKEA.
Yeah.
Why the hell not, right? Just
Yeah.
like you get all the pieces, you put it together. I would go to IKEA for that. Like that.
There's extra parts.
Yeah.
It's true.
Why are you crying? Your video game system broken? Get IKEA.
We give you extra pieces.
It's all that cheap food when
Some
you're there.
pieces missing.
Our accents for this are just completely way off.
Oh, we're
No,
done. But then we're also broadcasting late enough that all the Europeans won't watch and get offended.
They do that.
Sorry, guys. No,
What
it's
are
gonna
they,
it'll be
Swedish?
uploaded later. They'll watch it later, and then they'll be like, "I hate him."
I hate him so much.
Hey!
Is that actually what he thinks we sound like over here in this world of ours?
And they sound like that.
Yeah.
They sound like.
Hey, there's
We're
a
from
guy,
Sweden,
there's a guy that
so
wants to bring
sad.
you a Crystal Xbox tomorrow.
Torgo
Torgo
Wait,
I have
what?
3 Crystal Xboxes. One has a coin or something in it. Could bring it to the swap if you're interested. Would let the dusty one with the coin in it go for like $20 Canadian. That's like $1 American.
Tell you what, man. Bring it. I can't promise I'll buy it off you, but bring it and we'll talk. Cool? That's up to you.
So somebody's asking about the expectations of Resident Evil 7. That's a series I could not get into because I hate the controls.
Resident Evil altogether?
I can't do the controls. I just don't like them.
I'm what they call a fraidy cat, so I've played a lot of the Resident Evil games. I'll be honest, the cheesy nature of the games didn't really appeal to me too much, and the scary nature of them didn't really appeal to me too much. I want to play Resident Evil 4, and that game I actually do have the HD version on PC, and I want to try that out. But I'm not really excited about the new Resident Evil games. When I was a kid, the first Resident Evil style game I ever played, which I'm not going to call Resident Evil style because it's technically not Resident Evil, but I actually played Alone in the Dark, and that's when I played Resident Evil, I was like, oh, okay, because I was like a kid. Oh, well, it looks like the guys that made Alone in the Dark just made a new game called Resident Evil. I just assumed that's what it was. I had no idea that they had nothing to do with one another. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, Torgo, bring the Crystal Xbox. We'll talk. I promise. I'll be at his table. Okay, it'll be awesome. Greetings to a bunch of people. We got more people popping in. People coming in from other countries. Europeans are offended. They say we are...
Colombia, too.
Yeah, Colombia. Saying Europeans aren't awake, that we're insomnia-phobes. Sorry. Thoughts on Sonic Mania? Alright, so I saw that PS4 like collector's set, the one with the Sonic the Hedgehog statue and all that. And I was like, holy shit, I'm going to totally pre-order that. And I did. Then I found out, despite all that crap, there's no physical release.
That's why I didn't get it.
It's like a DLC code. So I was like, fuck it. And I canceled my pre-order like immediately. I was like, God damn you. Like, I totally would have bought that shit. I was so excited. But at that point I go, wait a minute. Then all I'm doing is just buying a Sonic figurine. Like, I wouldn't even...
One comes with a cartridge or something, right?
It does, but it also, despite all those cool
does.
things, it just, the code is just like on a little fucking card. I don't want that.
But what's in the cartridge?
Probably nothing. It's just a little display piece.
See, I don't like that.
Me neither.
Oxygen.
No,
Oxygen.
you know what would have been better to be in the card? Anything. Like, how about you just you make a hybrid card of like a Sonic 1, 2, and 3 and Knuckles and all that combined together?
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah,
Shit,
everyone
I
would go
would
nuts for that.
Shit, I would even consider still buying it if that card had like a USB port on the end. You plug that into like Xbox One or PS4 or something, and it just ran the game off of that.
Yeah.
I'd even still consider getting it despite having no disc. Maybe. But literally just a fucking code on a piece of paper? Fuck that.
Yeah, El Paso.
Yeah,
Too
screw
much.
that shit. Thoughts on PS4 Pro? So a lot of people were asking me to make a video on this because I did one for like the Xbox One versus the S versus the Scorpio. I just haven't had time to make one on the PS4 Pro situation.
Watch Shane's video.
Yeah, Shane crushed it.
It is awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
It's awesome.
I did 2 videos. The one video was like, yeah, this seems pretty neat. And then the second video was like, what? They didn't put a 4K Blu-ray drive in it?
Because
Why?
you know Microsoft did it because they thought Sony was going to do it because it's Sony.
Yeah, they
And
own
then
the
they
damn
didn't do
format. Or almost own it.
I can't. It makes no sense. A lot of people are saying that Sony's trying to save money and everything. It's like they don't save money by not putting it in. They invented the technology. You know what it's like? It's quite literally like going to a coffee store and then saying, hey, I want a cup of coffee. And they're like, okay, cool. Here's a cup of coffee. And go, hey, can I have a cup of coffee with like cream in it? And then you're like, oh yeah, that'll be 50 cents extra. But then if anybody works there and they want a cup of coffee, they always get it for free. So it doesn't matter what they put in, everything's free. But they're like, we don't want the cream. No, we're just going to take the coffee black. And that's it. That's all happened. They literally own the technology. They don't have to have any extra cost in it. And they literally aren't putting it in because they just were like...
You know what's crazy is I have a few friends at work that don't play video games, and they bought the Xbox One S because they wanted the Blu-ray player, and it's the cheapest one they can get.
Yep. I don't like your story, though, because I like black coffee, so fuck off.
I drink my coffee black, too.
Yeah, you're a dick.
I don't drink coffee.
Well, that's the problem right
Yeah.
there. That's a
There it
fundamental
goes.
misunderstanding of culture.
That's
That's
what it
offensive.
is.
You should be ashamed. Ashamed.
I'm a little
He's
ashamed.
just a little ashamed.
I'm a little ashamed.
Yeah. No, I don't know if I'm gonna be. I don't know if I'm gonna bother doing a video on that at this point because it's kind of old news. Long story short, PS4 Pro seems kind of pointless. I mean, if PS4 Slim seems like super fucking pointless. But yeah, PS4 Pro, man, like I might get one eventually. But same with like Scorpio. Like I don't know enough about it at this point.
If I didn't have one, I would get one. Like if I was gonna invest in a PS4 and I didn't have one, I'd buy the better one.
I guess that's
so you
where
don't
I'm
have to
at.
spend more money down the line.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. Like I just, I have a PS4. I'm not really itching for the Pro yet. I mean, we'll see. Maybe when I start noticing some real world performance differences, I might pull that
It's
trigger.
gonna be like cell phones. It's gonna be incremental upgrades.
Yeah.
Maybe every year, maybe every 2 years. And
But I can tell you right now, from a technological standpoint, the Scorpio is going to destroy the PS4 Pro.
But
they
but
also
honestly,
have a year on it.
Exactly. That's all the more reason.
If it does it, like, will it even get any like extra bass? Like, I mean, look, This is what I'm hearing about the PlayStation 4 Pro right now is that when you get a game, or when you get a game, it doesn't matter if it's Pro or anything, it just works on all the systems all across. Nothing matters. So they're just basically slowly upgrading to nothing, which is fine. I'm okay with that. Just do whatever you want to do. Hey, you got a system that does this and another system that does this. It doesn't matter as long as they all play games at the end of the day. But the Xbox One Scorpio seems to be a jump in performance, a literal next step in its design.
Well, it comes out next year.
Yeah,
yeah.
Presumably.
When did the Xbox One come out? 2013.
The original version?
That's like 4 years.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well,
I can see that.
but it's like, but what I don't understand is like, what's the purpose? Like, what if this console actually gets games that only work on Scorpio and
that
nothing
will
else?
happen eventually.
But if
Yeah,
that
it'll happen
happens,
eventually.
that doesn't look like that's not going to happen with the PlayStation 4.
It might eventually.
But see, it can't because they when they made their announcement, they basically said, "Oh yeah, the PlayStation 4 just upscales 4K."
Yeah, but there are games that will take advantage of the additional capabilities. It's just a matter of how much time until developers do I still have to make launch model
Yeah,
compatible
but you think
games?
they would have put the 4K Blu-ray in just because it holds more data?
You would also think they would put it in
If
just
it's
for
4K,
marketing reasons.
Well, yeah.
Well, I think the whole problem that I'm having with this whole situation at this current moment is that I don't think any of the companies are really thinking about the fact that they had all of these systems already sold with a built-in marketplace. So if they release any game for those brand new systems, that game's going to naturally not sell well because there's just so few people that have actually bought those. The initial people that already bought the PlayStation 4s are a built-in marketplace power force. Why the hell would you like if Sony really starts releasing games just for the PlayStation 4 Pro, if Microsoft really starts releasing games just for the Xbox One Scorpio, then they're literally handing the video game industry to Nintendo on a silver platter going, "Hey, we know you're struggling with this NX bit. Have some fun."
It's too bad Nintendo doesn't have a better plan than what we think it's going to be.
I mean, you're talking about Nintendo succeeding on the fuck-ups of the other two.
It really is.
Yeah.
And that's assuming that they bring out something amazing, which is...
And everybody's been talking about the Nintendo NX. Like, what do you guys think about the Nintendo NX having a cartridge?
I did a video on it. I actually think that could be very good.
Well, it could be good because, look, SanDisk just announced a 1 terabyte SD card.
Yeah, but those are expensive.
I know, but you know what I'm saying. Technology is moving forward in terms of storage.
I sat down about this, and I kept thinking, there's something in my head telling me it's a bad idea, and I couldn't think about what it was, and then I finally figured it out. It would be disastrous if they use a cartridge.
I don't think they should because to press a Blu-ray disc or whatever they use is what, pennies?
Yeah.
The storage medium is not going to be pennies. It's going to eat into their bottom line.
Yeah, it's going to cost
a
lot to mass produce those things. But the crazy thing is, do you ever think the fact that the NX is... And now these are all rumors, right? But the NX is supposed to be a mobile platform, right? Like that's the rumor. It's going to be mobile. Apparently it might be Tegra-based. So let's say they make an Xbox... Let's say they make... Okay, I'm a developer and I'm like, all right, guys, hey, let's make a video game. All right, so I'm going to make a video game, and I'm going to make it for everyone because I want it to sell the most, right? So I sell it on Xbox One, I sell it on PlayStation 4, I sell it on PC. That means we're using Blu-ray as a standard 50 gigs a game, right? That's where we're going. So these cartridges are going to have to be about 50 gigs, maybe 30 gigs. Let's get them benefit out. 30 gigabyte cartridges. Right now, the 3DS is at 8 gigs. That's quite a jump up. Now, on top of all of that, if they want to do downloadability, right, they're going to have to make a flash-based or SSD-based portable video game system that exceeds the storage mediums that we have in the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. Think about that. That means if you want to download these games and put them on your hard drive to actually play them through some kind of downloadable online service, which Nintendo is probably going to use, they have to have a portable hard drive on their systems that exceeds my cell phone. My cell phone's expensive at like $600, 64 gigs.
Yeah.
Right?
Sorry,
it's Canadian.
It's going to be a tough sell.
I honestly believe if they go cartridge, they're going to destroy the company. Hands down.
There's a lot they can do to destroy a company.
Yeah, but portability-wise, I don't think you can use a CD drive.
No, you couldn't.
Sorry,
no.
not CD
No,
Blu-ray.
so you can't, right?
Yeah, that's why they're probably doing it.
So what I made a suggestion on a stream I had. I was like, well, how do you solve it? Well, what you do is you don't use any kind of storage medium that's based around SD cards or anything like that, right? You have some built-in flash memory and all that stuff. And then the awesome part would be having the games on amiibos. That way, all the transfer and everything is easy. It's got like a digital code, locks in, put the thing on, downloads the game from the Nintendo services, and then the amiibos themselves are like collector toys that have all your games on them. That would be the way to go.
Do you remember one big flaw about the N64? One big flaw for the N64 is the lead
all
times
good.
to make the cartridges.
Yeah.
Sometimes it took weeks or months.
So
if the
cartridge
game
technology
sells
has
out-
massively changed.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, you know, if they can't fix that one problem, then
Yeah.
what do you do?
There was one comment about how I should do a podcast. I do a podcast. It's on my Patreon. However, it does go public a few weeks later, and I think it's going to go public on the 27th this month, so you can check that out. RGT85, what up, man? He, you know him, right?
Yeah.
He was saying he thinks my chest hair must be magnificent. Or I'm hiding it from you, man. That's all. There's
nice.
not too many people that get to see that shit. Caleb, I think you asked about Shenmue 3 getting a physical release on PS4. Yes, it is. And now someone else. What have you got? No. Are there any expensive OG Xbox games I'm still looking for? Not
Operation Genesis?
No, I have that.
Oh.
What's the game I got up there?
Outrun 2006. I have that.
Coast to Coast. I need that.
I don't think so. I have to look. I'm not as familiar with all the PAL shit I'm still missing, but I'll look into that. Can I promote the Shenmue 3 PayPal? Dude, I did that a lot. I did a whole video with Corey Marshall. I was hanging out in a bed with him for reals, and all we did was promote the damn Shenmue 3 PayPal. You should check it out. The Slacker Backer campaign. What else? Can we do a video about cleaning a PS3? Probably not. It's a lot more complicated than that. Like, a lot of the stuff from 6th gen and before that I've cleaned up often can be fixed by just cleaning it. Whereas when you get into the 7th gen, there's too many moving parts and a lot of stuff really won't be repaired by that. Yeah, a lot of them need a lot of special stuff. And things like the Wii, man, there's so many little pieces in that thing. Like, I guarantee I'd fuck it up, and then I'd have a video where everybody fucks it up. Like, I don't want to be responsible for that. So, no, I probably won't ever do any of the 7th gen stuff. Where's my Dreamcast game reviews? There was a time.
Yeah, where are they?
There was a time where I was gonna do that, and then like that was around the time when Sega started actually going after people on YouTube. Very briefly, do you remember that? The Shining Force thing?
Yeah.
And so I just kind of shied away from it, and then I got into other things, and I just never went back to it. The truth is, I fucking hate editing gameplay footage. Like, I absolutely hate doing that. And so, like, I don't, it would piss me off too much. I would get nothing out of it in the sense of enjoyment. So I'm just like, I don't want to make videos about this. It wouldn't be good for you because I'd be pissed off when I'm making the video. And you'd probably be able to tell that I wasn't having fun making the video, and you probably wouldn't have fun watching it. Unless you're laughing at my pain, which is very possible. That can work. Those are good. But yeah, so I don't know. I'd like to do videos featuring some gameplay and stuff with the Dreamcast eventually, but I just not on the docket right now.
Somebody asked, would you clean a Neo Geo? Do you have a Neo Geo?
I have a Neo Geo AES. Mine is clean. I mean, I could do the video, but I'm not. No, I could take it apart and do a video, but I'd be like, "Hey guys, here's this one that already looks fine. It totally works. Let's risk breaking it."
Shane and I will dirty it up.
Yeah, like, I mean, the exterior being dirty, right? Because the inside really doesn't.
Oh no, a lot of time the insides get fucked.
Really?
Yeah, it depends on how the condition of where they were stored.
Videos. Somehow it's.
Yeah, like I found an N64. There was a fucking bird's feather under the motherboard. I don't know how the hell it got there. Found like spider webs and shit inside those things.
I guess that
like there's some nasty
spiders,
crap.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You don't use it. It's just sitting
there.
there.
Fucking bugs get in there. Like this, I've found some nasty shit, man. Fuck, marry, kill Shane, Scott, and the Dreamcast. I don't want to answer that.
I want to live.
Well, I don't know. I'd probably let me think.
I don't want to know the answer.
I don't want any of those things. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest.
All right, fine. God.
I don't think I want to be on any receiving end of anything that happens there.
All right, fine. Fuck.
Shane, what's your favorite game controller?
My favorite game controller is probably either the GameCube controller, which I think is a really
game controller. What's your favorite game
controller? Yeah, the GameCube controller.
Really?
Yeah,
that's not an odd answer.
Well, it's one of my favorite GameCube. The GameCube controllers are my favorite controllers, but I think the best controller I've used for consoles right now is probably this little sucker right here, the Xbox One Elite.
Yeah, that's probably the best one.
Yeah, I mean, because it's funny because it's weighted, it's got a lot of metal pieces, and it's very clicky, it's very responsive. And I've literally sat there and used this thing with a bunch of PC games as well. It is just a really well designed controller. I'd love to see every game developer, or every major manufacturer make a bunch of the like just more like higher end controllers just for fun because I think they're really cool devices.
I think my favorite's Xbox One controller. I love using it for GoldenEye Source, like PC games. It's excellent.
Yeah, people are asking about the AVS and RGT85. Sean is asking about, or he's talking about it. Yeah, it's a good thing. Actually, you guys should watch Sean's video. RGT85. He's in the comments. Check out his video on the AVS. I'd like to get one, but you were expressing concern with that. Because this dude knows a lot about it.
Yeah, it looks amazing. I saw it at the Waterloo Video Game Swap last year.
Which we're going to tomorrow.
Super amazing. But because I live in Canada,
we're in Canada right now.
The shipping is a little bit expensive for me, so I think I'm going to have to ship it to Adam and get Adam to bring it up to me. Because he brings me stuff all the time.
Dude, I am a Dreamcast mule for this motherfucker.
The AVS, according to the reviews, is awesome.
Yeah, like I said, Sean's in the comments there. He has one.
I watched Sean review. It was really cool.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off. Leon is asking in the comments, are we going to the swap tomorrow? Leon, he is going to the swap tomorrow.
All three of us will be there.
Leon is the best modder. He modded my NES for RGB, and he put the SNES style port on the back. Amazing. Guy does amazing work. Amazing work.
He's totally the best. It's amazing. You should check it out.
He is.
Yeah, I believe you. I've never met this gentleman. I will hopefully meet him tomorrow.
He's awesome.
If anybody sees a good question, just count it out. Skull says the Dreamcast sucks. Oh my god.
Oh no.
I'm so hurt because I'm 12 and I give a shit.
Hey Shane, somebody asked, is the Hori mini pad for N64 worth getting?
Oh.
Yes, I say so. I made a video on that one.
Yes, that's why I'm pushing it towards you.
I definitely say it's worth getting. I think it's the best controller ever made for the Nintendo 64. I know there's some people that have concerns about it, but I think all of the positive features of the controller outweigh the negatives. Like the people like to say the D-pad is in an awkward space, but how many N64 games actually use the D-pad? Like, really?
Yeah.
It's not the greatest D-pad in the world, but honestly, it's like the controller's just so damn good. And it's very responsive, too. Like, freakishly responsive. So.
The wrestling games use a D-pad.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
But
so
it's still, I still
like
think it's a good
games.
Oh, those wrestling games on N64 are amazing. Not a big wrestling guy, but they're awesome.
Caleb asks, why is it that the Dreamcast, GameCube, and Wii U can be played with a screen on the controller and none of them were very successful? Was there I don't remember a screen on the GameCube controller.
Must have blacked out for that one.
Yeah, I don't remember that at all.
I think there is one, but it's
I remember that keyboard thing.
There is a third-party controller with a screen, but it doesn't actually get utilized. The GameCube did have Game Boy Advance support, so you can actually plug up the screen that way. Yeah,
but that's like really limited.
Yeah,
I wouldn't count that because the Game Boy Advance itself was successful. I think that's just so basically it's between the Dreamcast and the Wii U, and I think there's more factors than just it had a screen on it. I don't think that's what killed it.
Hey, Sega Mischief is here. Hey, Sega Mischief.
Hey,
how's it going?
I know him as Derek.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah, he's a GSP super fan too. He was, I think I told you this. He was the guy who was you were streaming once and we were streaming once. And he had like a fucking dilemma over which one of us to watch. And then my friend was like, fuck Rerez. I don't know who he is. Fuck, he's a bitch. And he got all mad at you. And I'm like, that guy's my friend. You shouldn't say that. He's like, oh, I mean, he's great. He's great. I love him. Shane's the best. Fuck Aaron.
Don't say that.
I don't fuck him. I don't give a shit. Derek, you go tell Aaron I told him he can go fuck himself.
Leon K asks, Adam, how many Xbox games do you own?
Dude, I don't fucking know. Are you
still trying to get them all?
People keep pushing me into getting a full set on this. I want to get them all now, I guess, yes. I don't remember the number offhand, man. I just kind of operating off of memory. So I know I have a few hundred in, at least. Yeah, so I have no specific number for you. I'm hoping to get some out of the swap tomorrow.
He needs sports titles on the Xbox.
There are a lot of sports titles I need, yes.
Yeah, so if you can bring some sports titles...
Yeah, bring me a sea of them.
Yeah.
Sea of them. Why did Sonic Adventure 2 copy Pepsi Man? I don't understand. You mean just running?
Because I think they actually got that more from Sonic than anything else.
Yeah. So that's just full circle, man. Do I like the Dreamcast controller? I like it for games it was designed for. That's about it. I mean, I don't hate it. A lot of people hate it, but it's at the same time, people compare it falsely to like dual joystick controllers. I think even you mentioned like, oh, I thought the PlayStation controller was going to be the future. People forget the Dreamcast controller came out in Japan before the DualShock controller came out at all.
Is that accurate?
I think so. I'm pretty.
No, because the DualShock came out for PlayStation 1.
Yeah, I know, but it came out way later in the PlayStation lifespan.
It came out around.
Whereas the
I
Dreamcast
think it came
controller
around
came out.
96 when Mario 64 came out. I think that was the answer.
I don't know if it was that. Or
Yeah, sorry. Dual analog. Sorry, the dual analog joysticks, like 2 joysticks.
Are you talking about the regular.
That predates the Nintendo 64.
I don't think that's.
Yeah, that's actually.
You're sure?
I did.
Then I
Yeah,
apologize.
I'm pretty sure.
It was 2 big joysticks. Like it wasn't like the tiny little things. It was 2 big joysticks.
I'm talking about what we now.
And then they took that and put it into a small.
Okay,
form
fair enough.
factor.
Then I withdraw that.
But I think
still,
even the smaller one, I think, came out.
I think it came out around the time of the
N64.
Yeah.
All right. Well, whatever. The point is, I think that people have gotten too used to that type of controller, so they look back at the Dreamcast controller and say, "What the fuck is this?" But again, you have to remember it did come out in like late '98 in Japan. I mean, they must have started developing it in like early '98. It just wasn't the standard yet. I don't know why it gets lumped in when people don't really care. Like, why doesn't the Genesis have 2 thumbsticks on it? It's like, why the fuck would it?
Yeah.
Like it didn't make sense to
That'd
do
have
it
been
then. Yeah.
Wolfsight says, "Hi Adam, I just want to thank you for your video on cleaning a Model 1 Sega Genesis. It really helped when I was restoring a console someone's built pop on. It is true, you do make awesome cleaning videos."
Thank you.
Wolfside, are you going to the swap tomorrow?
Yeah, we're all going.
No, I'm asking if Wolfside is.
Oh.
He's actually from here.
Well then,
Oh,
yeah,
he
fucking
is.
go. What are you doing,
Yeah.
dude? Yeah,
Come on down.
I'll be there. I'm not cleaning anything, but I'll be there.
We'll make him clean some shit.
Oh, nobody's. Oh, clean. Fuck you.
He didn't say no.
I didn't say no, but I'm.
Adam, what are your thoughts on limited run games?
I like that concept. I want them all. That's about it. That's fucking. I want them all. I've seen a lot of those being. Obviously, those are popular reseller things. Like those pop up at swaps all the time now.
Yeah.
But I never see anybody actually buying them, like the resale ones. Have you?
I have seen. Boy, I don't know. Usually when I see limited run games in stores, at swaps and stuff like that, people are just asking the going rate for them. I never see them like for really expensive.
Except for that one, the first one, Retro City Rampage.
Yeah,
No, that wasn't them. That wasn't them.
Oh, it wasn't them?
No,
Okay.
that wasn't them.
Cool. Who did that one? On
I don't
Vita?
have any of those. So.
Say what?
The Vita one. I heard went.
Oh yeah, Breach and Clear, because
Yeah.
it was the first release.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the only one that gets commands money because people are like, oh shit, now I heard about this thing, I want to go back and get all of them. Breach and Clear is like fucking impossible because they had like the lowest print
Breach and
run.
Clear even good?
I have no idea. Whatever. Well, somebody else asked something I wanted to answer, but you fucked it up. No, it's all good.
I do that a lot.
Yeah, he does. Have I ever heard of Shenmue Online? Yeah, of course, dude. Look at me.
What about this one, Adam? Do you have a preferred version of the OG Xbox or a preferred disk drive for it? Thompson, Philips, Samsung.
Oh, the Samsung drives. Always. The OG Xbox always have a fucking Samsung drive. Always. So that's an easy question to answer.
How can you tell which drive you have?
They have different shapes when you
the
open
shapes
them.
on the disc tray. Yeah, no, actually, going back to limited run games, I'm going to tell you guys a story I heard. I cannot confirm this. Full disclosure, this is not proof, okay? But, so, limited run games, I guess, operates out of North Carolina. I have a friend who lives in North Carolina, actually relatively near where limited run games functions. Supposedly, according to my friend, who has not proven this to me, I wanted to make that very clear, limited run games actually ends up with more stock than they actually sell, as per some reason I don't fully understand. And so there's this one retro game store near them that actually ends up with a lot of their overstock. So there is actually like one store that sells limited run games stuff for not much more than they actually sell them on their website to begin with. But again, I can't confirm that. I have not been there. I have not seen this. My friend hasn't even sent me so much as a photo. It's just what he told me. So it could all be fucking 100% bullshit.
You guys going to get the Ultra HDMI N64? I have a complete loose N64 collection, so I'd like to get it. It's just I don't know if I want to spend the money on it.
I'd really like one. I have some RGB N64s. I'm gonna do a video on that soon, and it does look a lot better than like especially even an S video one. But from some of the footage I've seen of like the HDMI one, it's just the anti-aliasing filter. They like fixed that, and it's just like oh, I need that shit. But don't want to spend the money. So we'll see. Oh shit! Sean RGT85 says he's going there on Wednesday, so it might actually be true.
Yeah.
He lives 50 minutes away from there. Well, Sean, you can fucking prove it all to us. Dude, he says, tell me the name of the store in private. I have no idea. I have no clue. It must be local. But if you have heard of it too, then maybe it's not complete bullshit. YouTube Heroes thoughts?
Well, you go first if you have.
I barely know anything about this. The only thing I saw was Angry Joe's like reaction to it.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going through a filter.
So yeah, okay. So YouTube Heroes is essentially a community moderation program where people apply for YouTube Hero status, and then they get points based off of how much they help channels. So you put in like subtitles and stuff like that, and you get points. The more points you get, the more you level up, and you eventually level up to a point which everyone's really upset about, is where you level up to this one point you can mass flag videos.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so people are kind of worried about that. I'm worried about that because it's like, hey, if someone doesn't like you and they got that point, they can just flag you. And then the next point after that is directly talking with people from YouTube, which people that are longtime YouTubers are really upset about because a lot of them haven't been able to speak to YouTube ever, despite the fact they have gigantic commanding channels. So,
yeah, I'm not a fan. It sounds like a tattletale program. It's really weird. But anyway, we'll see how that goes.
And I'll just say, I'm pretty sure YouTube is gonna do the right thing. They're not doing this maliciously. They're literally just trying to find interesting solutions to problems they have. That's all. Yeah.
Tristan says he made Chad Vader in Lego Force Awakens. Two things about that. My buddy Matt voiced Vader in Lego Force Awakens. And I was actually in Chad Vader for 2 seasons.
Oh.
Yeah, I worked on it for 2 years. I don't know if you guys know that show, but yeah, I was on that.
Sorry, you said you had an N64 RGB?
I have a couple of them.
Leon says the de-blur filter on it is, but nobody knows about it. You can add that to it. You can turn it on.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Well, hook me up, man.
Well, Leon's the king.
Well, so. Leon, come over and like fix my N64s. I'll hook you up. I'll give you $1. It's American, so it's worth more. It's good. No, nothing. All right, fine. Ghosted me, Shane. Ghosted me. All right.
What is your favorite platforms? That's a good question.
What, the consoles, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, obviously mine's the Dreamcast. I would say probably the Dreamcast, Genesis, SNES, maybe OG Xbox, possibly 360. I like the Wii U a lot. Yeah.
Xbox 360, I had a lot of good times with friends, multiplayer. N64, countless hours playing multiplayer on that. It was great. Single player, probably my favorite Super Nintendo. Just growing up playing those games.
If I had to pick a system, I would pick PC. If only for the fact that I spent more time playing games on PC than anything else. But I really don't want to say I have a favorite platform, honestly, because all I care about are the games. So for me, the platform is interchangeable. It's the games that really give me the experience that I remember. I don't really... Like, I have fond memories of, like, the NES controller and stuff like that, but for me, it's all about the games themselves.
Yeah,
it's like,
absolutely.
I honestly couldn't tell you what theater I was sitting in when I watched the original Jurassic Park, but I remember the movie, you know? Mm-hmm. And I saw that twice when it came out,
So there you go. Thoughts on the NES Mini? I'm not interested at all. I don't do clone
I'm going
to
pick one up.
I don't do clone consoles. Even if it is official, I don't give a fuck.
I'm interested in seeing it, but to be quite honest, I don't think it's smart that Nintendo's releasing that when we still don't know anything about the Nintendo NX.
Just keep in mind, at the time we record this, supposedly in a few days we're going to hear more about the NX.
I hope we hear. I hope we do.
It's just
supposedly.
For history.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be 5 months away now that the system
comes
out.
March, supposedly.
Yeah, it's supposed to come out in March, and we don't know what the system looks like. We don't know what games are coming out for it. We don't
Zelda
know.
And Just Dance 2017.
Yeah, but that's not Nintendo, right? That's not actually Nintendo saying that. That's
They told us we would get Zelda.
Yeah, but they're not... Pokemon coming out. Yeah, but you gotta show us something. You know what I mean? It's like going, hey, guys!
I'm not arguing with you. I'm making a point that there was 2 games we do know.
They literally just said a name. It's like, hey guys, I've got 3 movies coming out next month. Really? What are the movies? Well, I can't tell you the names, but they're coming out. Like, it's just, what the hell? Oh, here's code names: Sulfur, Red, and Blue. 3 of these things coming out. Who's starring in them? Can't tell you. What are they about? Won't tell you that either. It's like, but you can't say, you can't do that. They need to tell us something about the NX so that we can be interested in it. Because if they keep, like, in 5 months, Like, at this point, I am so confident that they're just going to delay the announcement. Because, dude, we don't know what the controller looks like. We don't know what the system looks like. We don't know what's inside the system. We don't know what games are being developed for it. We don't know anything about the NX. But
They have to hit a home run, though, when they finally choose to.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
It has to be a home run.
It has to be a home run. And you know what? I'll tell you what we do know about. A tiny little NES that's going to be coming out for the Christmas season when people should be buying an NX.
Yeah, I was convinced for...
That's the nostalgia market, though, too.
Dude,
like, people who are not going to buy the NX, a lot of them would buy the NES.
I was convinced for, like, the last 2 years that whatever they did, meaning ultimately to be NX, was going to hit the market November of this year. I was only off by a couple months, but the fact that we still don't know shit about it is kind of amazing. He's right. So, yeah, more questions. Somebody asked something that I was going to answer, and I'm sorry, I don't remember what the hell it was now.
Lots of questions.
Yeah, well, go ahead and start picking stuff.
The GC video that someone mentioned, I actually was looking into that, and the HDMI mod. I thought there was a bunch of people working on that. Somebody cloned the chip for the GameCube component cable, had that special chip in it, so people just couldn't make cables for it. And then they did that, and then somebody's working on the HDMI. I'm hoping that somebody comes out with the plug-in.
All right.
No soldering, you just plug it in the back.
But why would anybody do that for the GameCube? Why wouldn't you just use the component
Better
cables?
video quality.
The component cables are like $350.
I know.
I'll tell you why I'm interested in it. Game Boy player.
Okay, that makes sense to me.
You mean the Wii?
Yeah.
Oh, the first of all, video quality off the Cube is better than the Wii. Second of all, like he said, GameCube player. Third, if
Game Boy player.
Game Boy player, right? And then there's also action replay support, but that's a small one.
I do want to take a second and tell a story. At the last live stream, my only YouTube thing I've ever done.
No, you got the cliff jumping video.
Oh yeah, the cliff jumping. Even I forget about that. I mentioned that I got a GameCube with a Game Boy player for cheap, but I didn't get the Game Boy player disc. Thanks to one of Adam's lucky fans, he actually sent me the disc. So I want to give a shout out to Nerd Junkies. Super nice guy. He didn't have to do this. He seriously didn't have to do this.
You know how it feels now.
It's awesome. What an awesome guy.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Totally
people out there are
amazing guy.
freaking great. I'm always like, no, dude, you don't have to send me anything, but people still send stuff. And
I couldn't find it anywhere, so he really hooked me up. I know. So thank you, Nerd Junkies.
You guys who watch this stuff, you guys are the fucking best. You guys are absolutely the best. Yeah, Matthew, I'm sorry, I don't know what your comment is. The stuff's going by fast, plus the screen's much further away from us than it might look. Why are my t-shirts so awesome? I don't know. I got this at Disneyland a couple of years ago. Look at that. Darth Vader. This is right after Disney had bought Star Wars, so they were just like, flood the gift shop. And it's clearly one of the first things that came up. It definitely reminded me of Chad Vader, which, like I said, I worked on. So I was like, fuck, I'm going to get that. It was awesome.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I like it.
It's always weird because, like I said, my buddy does the voice of Vader now for all this stuff. So I'm walking around the gift shop and there's tons of Vader toys. I'm like, touch them. Yeah, that's my friend's voice coming right out of that box. Anyway, Sonic Mania. Sorry, we already talked about it. By the way, this will be re-uploaded onto YouTube later. So if you miss questions, if you're interested, you can go back and check it out. There's a lot of people asking about Dream Pie. You want to talk about Dream Pie?
Yeah, let's do it.
Because Dream Pie does not interest me in the slightest. So I'm gonna leave this to you.
All right. So basically, I'm not gonna hit Dream Pie specifically, but there are tons and tons of projects out there of people that are wanting to create a brand new Dreamcast 2. The philosophy is, if we have a Dreamcast 2, the world will be safe again. Everything will be joyous and wonderful.
Safe for freedom. Yeah.
You don't want a Dreamcast 2. You might think you want a Dreamcast 2. Adam and I and Scott, we all want a Dreamcast 2.
A good one.
But we're not going to get the Dreamcast 2 we want. What you're going to get is a shitty, terrible system, a knockoff console made by people that are not actually Sega. Sega themselves might say, we're going to make a Dreamcast 2, but whatever they release will not be the original creator's Dreamcast. It will be a group of people that are literally harvesting the name and creating some piece of crap hardware that will account to nothing, mean nothing, and do nothing for anyone. It will essentially be like getting an, Android box that just happens to play Dreamcast games. You don't want that. Nobody wants that. And believe me, it's not worth it. Sega is not the company it used to be anymore. Quite frankly, they are just kind of non-existent.
They're a shell. They're absolute.
Well, Sega doesn't have any of the people that made the Dreamcast.
Yeah, no, they're
all gone. And that part of Sega is gone.
Yeah. You know who mostly represents Sega these days is that like their British channel, like their YouTube. Like those guys are like almost the face of them these days. In fact, anytime you hear good news about Sega, it's always some British employee. Always. They're the only ones who talk about anything. They're the only ones who come up with the ideas. Like, even today, I saw in my feed, there was a fucking article about the same British dudes who now run Sega over there who were just like, yeah, you know what? Quality control at Sega during the Wii era wasn't a priority. Didn't give a shit. Anything we could put out on that console, we were making it rain shitty games. They didn't care. So they're trying to get their act together a little bit, but really, they're just the remnants of an empire that once was great. They suck now.
Plus, I don't think they can support another company getting in, like a fourth console.
Yeah.
You already have PS4 and Xbox One. You have Wii U, which is kind of like
Nintendo has money and they can't make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
you really think like Sega's not in a position to make a console, and if they made a console, it would not be anything like, okay, look, if Sega made a console, a Dreamcast 2, there would be no third-party support. The console itself that they make would just suck because it wouldn't have any of the components that any of the modern consoles have. Essentially, it would probably be a standard definition console at best.
Yeah.
Quite possibly 720p limited. And then you have to think like, well, what kind of controller would they use? Would they use a Dreamcast controller? How many games are made with one analog stick in mind nowadays? Like, seriously, it would be astonishingly poorly received.
Yeah.
And the better question is, why do you need a Dreamcast 2?
See,
What games are you expecting?
You don't need the sequel. The first one hit it out of the park. Move on.
Yeah.
And this is from the guy who fucking does Dreamcast videos.
What I would like, as crazy as it would be, what I would like is a Dreamcast that happens to be high definition, that plays old games. That's it. But even then, I just want them to take the Dreamcast catalog and re-release them in greater numbers.
Closest thing you're going to get is an emulator.
Yeah.
That upscales.
And
that's already kind of happened.
Right. I just want Sega to release Shenmue in HD. I want them to release Power Stone again. And that kind of stuff.
Well, first of all, they don't have Power Stone. That's
I know they don't have Power Stone.
Shenmue, again, anytime we hear anything positive about HD remasters, it's always this fucking British office. They're the only ones who give a shit. And they seem to be running this company. It's amazing. Like, I've never hear anything about the North American...
Adam, make it happen.
I'll see what I can do.
You're the ambassador.
But the North American branch barely exists. They moved from San Francisco to some, like, shithole office in San Diego or something. Like, just, they don't even have that anymore. Sega of Japan, aside from pachinko machines, they don't do shit. You want anything good out of Sega, you just tweet at this, like, Sega of Europe, specifically the UK branch. They're, like, the only guys who give a fuck. They're the only ones who care. There was a question about the Frame Meister because I just did a video on that thing. Thank you again to Kyle for hooking me up with that. Yeah, so he was asking why it didn't support RF. Well, who the fuck cares about RF anymore? The thing with RF is the thing's a Japanese machine, and RF in Japan, North America, and PAL regions is all different. And I'm sure that you'd have to put too many ports on for things that nobody wants. It's just a waste of space and materials. It would make the Frame Meister even more expensive. If you really want to run RF stuff through that, get a VCR with RF input, composite output, and run the composite stuff into the Frame Meister. It looks like shit. I actually did try it, but it looks fucking horrendous.
Somebody said, did you hear that a region-free loader was made for the Wii U? That's something you would love.
Actually, somebody sent me a link about that. Somebody accidentally figured that out because they were trying to get, like, somebody was, like, breaking down, like, Wii U code or something. Correct me on some of this because I only read it once. They were, like, trying to crack, like, Wii U code for protection. And I guess the Wii U obviously uses like a series of numbers to like identify stuff. And he fucked up and accidentally made it like all zeros. And when he did that and he like rebooted the system, his Wii U could just read any region game. He was like, I don't know how the fuck I did that. And like, but you still have to do a bunch of shit to make that work. But it means it's getting closer. So if there's actually at the point where they might release some sort of region-free disc loader, I'd be all over that shit.
I would like that. It's just what worries me about the Wii U. What worries me about the Wii U is although we see a lot of compatibility with the Dreamcast by the end of its lifespan was already kind of cracked open by that point.
It was cracked open pretty damn quick.
Yeah, and the Wii U, we're not seeing that the same way, and I'm actually really worried that. Okay, when you think of like an Nintendo 64, Nintendo controller, any of those things, the components are fairly easy to come by, but Wii U's, I don't know. You know, like the batteries on the controllers, just the very basic things like the screen going out or the touch screen going over the course of a couple of years, we're going to start to see these things happen in greater like all the online features of all these games get turned off.
Oh yeah,
right?
Sure.
Yeah, you could lose the downloadable content forever.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to back that stuff up.
Yeah, and I think honestly, I feel like there should be a rule or something. I don't know if this is going to sound stupid. I feel like there should be a rule where when a console is about to die, the company has to keep it public and open for like a year so that everyone can get all their information they want out of it, stuff they actually purchased. Because like you think about this, dude, when they shut down the 360 servers.
Oh,
Think about that.
It's gonna be brutal.
Because everyone's like, oh, they'll never do that. Yeah, they shut down the Xbox servers.
They'll shut that, dude. They shut down entire operating system servers. Yes, inevitable. It is absolutely 100% inevitability.
Did you guys hear what they did when they shut down Halo 2? So they would only boot you once you turn your console off. People left their consoles on for like over a month for Halo 2 just so they could keep playing.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
With I remember, right now on the Xbox 360, I have the Simpsons arcade game. It's like the only downloadable version of the game they officially
I think
released.
I have that too. Yeah.
Yeah, and like there's a PC version, but it's not as good as the console because the console one is literally 1-to-1 what the arcade is, and that was pulled from the store. You can't rebuy that.
Yeah.
So,
same with TMNT reshelled.
So it's there, and it's like that's it. If anything ever happens to the hard drive in my 360, that's it. Done. I will never get that game again unless I happen to find somebody else that happens to be selling their 360 with that game installed on it already.
Yeah, no, you
With
guys
their
remember
account.
you remember the big thing over PT, the demo when that got pulled over Silent Hills? Same shit, but on a mass scale. Don't support digital games.
I got PT.
Fuck digital games.
PT
Sorry,
was
I know I'm
fun.
the minority. Yeah, you can't re-download PT.
I know, I have it.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm just saying.
When after they delete it, people offer me money for my PS4. I'm like, I like it. I'll hold on to it.
Anyway, a lot of people are asking about this Metal Jesus Rocks thing with the N64 prototype. You guys were asking about that during the last live stream. That was back in July.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now he did an update video. Or something.
I didn't see it. So he flew. I know he flew a guy out from Detroit who had like a prototype disc, and I don't know beyond that what happened.
They still can't get anything off of it.
Yeah, that's why.
So it's like Metal Jesus Rocks made a couple videos of N64 DD prototype. Do you think Nintendo should release in America the Nintendo 64? No, absolutely not. They should. There are no games for the Nintendo 64 DD.
I know. I own one.
Yeah, like that.
And you have most of the games.
No, I don't.
Oh, really?
I only have a few.
Oh, okay. I thought you did.
There are no games for the Nintendo 64 DD in North America
Well, I guess
that
a
were
few is
officially
most.
released. So if there
That's
are any
true.
games, they're not in a completed state. So it would be kind of pointless. Plus, if you're asking how much Metal Jesus would be able to get for that N64 DD, to be honest, I don't know if he'd be able to get a lot for it. Just think of it this way, guys. Usually when people collect video games, they're collecting something that can actually be played. The Super PlayStation or Super Nintendo PlayStation.
Oh.
Right? We got to see this
Yeah,
in person.
we'll tell you stories.
So that system actually plays Super Famicom games. It's a legitimate Sony Nintendo video game system that actually plays Nintendo games. The disc drive doesn't do anything. So it doesn't get that value
Have
for
they
that.
stuck a Japanese game in it?
Yeah.
Well, Ben Heck
didn't work?
Ben Heck fixed it up.
But
He did a couple videos on it. He got games working.
But it
on
does
but
work.
there's no
That's what we're
games on
talking
the,
about.
There's no games on the CD
We're
drive.
talking about the disc drive.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if he got the disc drive to work, but people
No.
now
We're
people
talking about
have,
the N64 DD.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the SNES CD.
No. Sorry, the Ben Heck did take the Super Nintendo PlayStation. He got the disc drive to work. There's just no games to work on.
Well,
it.
somebody released games for it,
Yeah, but
but it's like packs or
it's
something.
original games.
No,
Like,
no,
it doesn't matter if this is the problem with the 64 DD. There's no games on it, and I know a lot of people are thinking, well, isn't it cool? Couldn't they release something? There was the Japanese 64 DD, which
I'm an owner of one.
and they did release games for that, so that's cool. But the North American one literally has nothing. So as far as I'm concerned, it's a cool oddity, and it should be kept and maybe put in a museum. But as far as value for it goes, if somebody were to ask me, hey, do you want to pay me like $50 or $100 for this? I'd say no. Because like there's
You're
nothing,
a bad example because you're not a collector.
yeah, but there's
anyway.
nothing you can do with it.
So what?
I've owned stuff.
Dude, I bought dumber shit than that.
Well, dude, I bought
for
this.
$100. You wouldn't buy the only.
Yeah, but you're not
N64
a
prototype?
collector. Like
No,
he's
yeah,
that
there's
collector
a
mentality.
bunch of them.
Oh.
There's a bunch of them out there.
Oh, there are.
He has one.
Okay, see, all right. I posted. All right, now I'm going to tell you what happened to us. We were at AVGC or whatever in New Jersey, the video game convention, and the guy who owns the SNES CD prototype, as previously mentioned, was there, and he let us actually like hold the thing and he look at it, take photos of it, make video. I'll show you guys in a video that's coming up. And the guy tells me something like after I'm holding it, of course, he then put it down. He tells me like, yeah, I've got offers for this thing for like, maybe I shouldn't say, but a lot of.
Say it.
He told me things like $500,000 he was getting offers for this thing, and he turned him down. And I'm thinking like, Jesus, like, you know, that thing must be the rarest console ever. It's the only one ever made. It has the most insane story behind it. Blah blah blah. I posted pictures of this on social media, on like my Facebook fan page, my Instagram, all that shit. And I actually had people arguing that Metal Jesus Rocks having a 64 DD was rarer. And I was like, no,
Absolutely not.
exactly, thank you. And I'm like, it's not rarer. I have a Japanese one. He's like, yeah, but this is the American one. It's like, Who gives a shit?
When-
It was released.
The story I've heard, this is a bit hearsay and rumor, but the sources I heard this from I trust. When the Nintendo 64 DD was being produced with American copies, there were American versions that were produced, just not like on the grand scale. It was like a couple 30, 40, 50, something like that.
Yeah, it was prototypes. Like sent to.
You got a number in the 5. He's claiming
there
5.
were 5. So there were 5, and those 5 do exist, and there was one guy that owned all 5, and he was just like, nobody wants them, so he just ended up selling one, and nobody cared about it until eventually Metal Jesus got it, made a video on it. Now, this is the thing. There are no games on it. So there is nothing to do with the system. You can't even you can't play anything on it. If you want a Nintendo 64 DD to actually play games, get the Japanese one that actually has games on it. I've owned rare weird stuff. Like I bought the Super Nintendo exercise bike, and I made a video on that. And when I got rid of that, barely anyone wanted it because it's just like one, it's a massive, gigantic piece of tech, and what are you supposed to do with it? You know, like. You just exercise on it and stuff like that. There's only like 2 games that work on it. And even then, there are games that actually work on that. The N64, or the Nintendo 64 DD has no games that work on it. Just like the Super Nintendo PlayStation has a disc drive that no games will work on it. The difference is the Nintendo 64, the Super Nintendo PlayStation actually has a cartridge slot that plays Super Famicom games. And the narrative, the story behind that game, behind that console.
The story behind it's fascinating. I did a whole video on that.
And like the story behind the 64 DD is literally this. Well, we were doing what they did in Japan, and then we just stopped. Mm-hmm. That's the story. It's not.
You know,
really
the easiest
exciting.
way to play 64 DD is apparently on the EverDrive 64 cart. You can play it on those carts with the new firmware.
Yeah,
the new firmware.
That's kind of amazing. You would think it would need the additional.
So you don't want to spend like thousands of dollars on all these games and stuff like EverDrive 64.
No, I got lucky on my 64 DD. I got it a long time ago on eBay. It came with a couple of games, a couple $100. You know, it was great. I did a video. I did an unboxing of it at the time, so that shit's OG. Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. Like I said, like the guy turned down the $500,000 offer. He didn't give a shit. He just likes the idea of being like, I'm the guy who has this thing.
And John Ezian said, aren't there better things to spend $500,000 on? Think of it this way. Imagine Nintendo made a video game system that no one thought was real, and then it happened to be made. Like, okay, understand that the PlayStation brand only exists because Nintendo screwed over Sony publicly during an E3 event. And the hell child.
There's more to it than that, but
it's crazy. The hell child that came out of that entire event, no one thought was real. No one thought it existed, and there it laid. We've seen it in person.
Yeah, I've held
real.
it. I've got photos, videos of me holding the damn thing. It exists. Every photo you've ever seen of that prototype is this one machine.
Oh, I think I still.
Yeah, pull up your photos, boy. Boy.
I got no photos.
Yeah, you didn't want to go. We
But I'll
invited you.
live vicariously.
We invited this motherfucker. Shane's like, I'll drive you down. I'll do everything. I was like, you can hang out in our hotel.
Yeah.
He still didn't come. What a jerk.
See if it can.
Yeah, it'll be all. Well, that's the picture. Oh, I'll show you guys a picture of me holding it.
It's Photoshop.
Scott, why don't you? Scott, why don't you entertain the crowd while we
It says
come up
Sony
with all these
PlayStation
pictures.
on it and all that stuff. Like it was legit.
She's entertaining them just fine.
Yeah, but I'm just saying you could try harder.
Game Boy Master, you're saying it doesn't work on the EverDrive cart? I thought I read an article that you had to do a firmware update and you could play it.
All right, I'll hook you guys up. Look at this shit. That's me holding the damn thing. Look at that shit.
Isn't that the greatest Photoshop you've ever seen in your life?
Yeah, the Mickey Mouse on my chest is not real.
Didn't I take that picture?
You did.
Yeah.
So Shane knows. Scott's a fucking liar. That's what he does.
I didn't lie. I asked a question.
All right, switching subjects. Have we ever played any of the Pioneer Laser Active games? I have one. I have the Pyramid Patrol game.
Can't say I have.
I don't think I've played any of them.
Come down to my house. We'll hang out.
Alright.
You can play Pyramid Patrol all fucking day.
I came to your house and you still didn't let me do that.
Oh, I wouldn't let you.
Ugh.
I let Shane. Shane knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
But no, Pyramid Patrol. All right, so I did a video on the Pioneer Laser Active. It was essentially a Laserdisc player that you could put a Genesis into or a TurboGrafx 16 into. I don't have the TurboGrafx thing. But you put the Genesis part in there, it had its own games, like that would be specifically for that machine that took advantage of the fact that it had a Laserdisc player in it. And there was like something like 13 games for them. All of them are like insane amounts of money. Pyramid Patrol, the only reason I have it is that's the most common one and it came with the system. That's it. It's not that good. It's like if you ever play like Microcosm or any of those games,
Yeah.
it's very much like Microcosm. And like they just had like this pyramid movie in the background and there's like the ship flying over. It wasn't very good, but it's the one I've got and I've played it.
What's your opinion on Beyond Good and Evil supposedly being an NX exclusive?
You know the game was a free Xbox One Gold game? like a month
The
ago?
HD
Yeah, it
release.
was.
Yeah, the HD one.
The HD one had a physical release in Europe.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I have it for the 360.
Can I
Of course
say?
you do.
I'll
I bought it while I was
say
over
this.
there, dick.
Now, let me say this. I'm a huge fan of Beyond Good and Evil. I think it's a fantastic game. I feel like if you've never played the game and you're a fan of adventure games, I recommend you play it actively. I think the HD version is the one to play.
I got physical, so you should get that one.
If the NX has a Beyond Good and Evil sequel as an exclusive, that's a nail in the coffin for the NX. Dude, who the hell even... Nobody bought Beyond Good and Evil when it first came out.
I know, it was one of those games that was amazing that everybody talked about, but nobody really bought.
So why do they think that would sell the NX? If that happens to be true, that's not a good idea. The NX needs games people are actually interested in buying, like the first Pokemon on a console. You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff on a home console. You need the NX to have big games that people are going to want to buy. Because if they just release things that people have a vague passing interest in, like, oh, the Wii U isn't selling that great. What we should do? Okay, how about we take Wind Waker, one of the worst-selling Zelda games, and re-release it in HD? Which, by the way, I like Wind Waker. I really do.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But that's not going to sell the system.
Yeah.
It was just a placeholder, dude.
It didn't.
They need, and what do you think they're going to release? I mean, Super Mario Galaxy 3 would probably be a good.
Yeah, but again, you're talking all Nintendo IPs.
Yeah, no, they need
Beyond
third
Good and Evil
party.
is Ubisoft.
Well, they need third party support, or they're just it's going to be the same thing over and over.
Torgo
again.
Gorgo said Beyond Good and Evil is a hidden gem, not a killer app. That's essentially it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what you said.
It's a great game and a high recommendation if you guys haven't played it. But yeah, there's no way that pushes anything. Think of the Nintendo NX as a grocery store. What do you want to see in the grocery store for you to go there? Do you want a specific brand of cereal, a specific kind of milk, some kind of like frozen food or whatever? Those are the things the NX needs to offer. And if you go into a grocery store and all they offer are bags and bags of mixed nuts that'll happen to smell a little bit like crap, you wouldn't eat them and you wouldn't go to that grocery store. That's the problem. The NX needs to be something far greater than just that. I don't know if that analogy with the mixed nuts that smell like crap.
It's all right,
It's
man.
like it's all I had.
You tried so big. It's good. Actually, Torgo Gorgo also asks, are GameCube/SNES/N64 compatible Monster S-Video cables worth the $50 to $90, or would you just mod the console at that point? Personally, I would have it modded, but that's easy for me to say. I have them, so I know what they look like when they're different. It's hard to recommend that. That's why I do the videos and let you guys fucking decide.
I've when it comes like I've seen a lot of people. I had a back when Radio Shack was around. I got into an argument with the manager at a Radio Shack.
Wow.
Because basically, I went to film school. Really good use of my money.
I did it too.
Yeah.
Right on!
We lost.
We missed.
Yeah.
Sort of. We got like that.
We really should have become doctors or something, like something that actually added to the value. But anyway, I went to film school, and I learned a lot about media technologies, broadcasting technologies, and stuff like that. I treated the school really importantly because it was important. This was, for me anyway, when I went into the store, the guy was like, yeah, we got these $90 Monster HDMI cables. No, it was $200. $200 Monster HDMI cables, gold-plated and stuff like that. And then I went, what's your cheapest HDMI cable? And he goes, well, we have these throwaway ones for $10. And I was like, I'll just take the $10 one. He's like, but sir, the signal's not going to be that strong. And I was like, okay, that's not true. And he goes, look, I went to CES and they showed me a TV and they had one half of the TV playing with an HDMI cable that was protected and the other one wasn't. And you could see on the left side of the screen that the signal was degraded. And I was like, you are fucking brain dead. You're the manager here. You can't talk like that. You're telling me that somehow this company from like Sony, whoever it was, invented a split HDMI cable that happened to have half the information bad and half the information good. And let me tell you,
it's a digital signal.
It's zeros and ones. It either gets the zeros and ones or it doesn't, and the signal turns off. There is no in between. There is no degradation of the signal. This isn't analog technology. But the guy couldn't grasp that, and he's like, "Yeah, but the TV." And I was like, "Dude, they made a video that half of it was bad and half of it was good. That's all you were watching. What did do you think they had a TV that took 2 HDMI signals and broadcast half each? Like, what TV was that?
The presentation was clearly good.
And
it worked on more.
worked on those guys.
And I was there with my friend, and my friend was like, Shane, let's just leave. And I was there with my wife, too. And we were just leave. And I'm like, no, he's got to understand. He can't sell stuff like this. He sounds like a raving lunatic. And the more I was talking, the more I realized I'm the raving lunatic in that situation, right? But it's like, holy shit, dude. You just literally told me, I've ate hamburgers made with cows that breathed air and cows that breathe nitrogen, and it tastes the beef different. It's like, no, it doesn't. It's the same shit.
All I heard when he mentioned all those specs is maybe interference. Maybe that'll help with interference.
But he was saying that because he was like
he was saying that based off of what a lie.
Yeah, he was like, because television signals interface with the HDMI cable. I'm like, what are you talking about? That's not how HDMI works. How? Because what worried me was someone's going to walk in and buy a $200 monster HDMI cable.
Oh, somebody did.
Oh, it happens.
Oh, it happens.
Dude, I'll tell you a story. All right, so I was just in San Francisco for this Ubisoft event, and fucking I was hanging out with a bunch of other YouTubers, and one of them said his old job was to, like, sell video cables, and he was the guy in that situation, except he actually knew what he was talking about. But he was like, you'd be amazing when people come in and buy, he's like, this guy came in and bought $100,000 worth of sound equipment. I had no problem selling him $5,000 cables. Meanwhile, I literally have $10 versions over there that do exactly the same goddamn thing. He's like, trust me, they're bullshit. The only people buying those high-end cables are morons because they have no idea that there's a cheap version. For them. Yeah, it's called rich people who don't know what to do. That's all that is. Those cables are, you see those $120 cables? Don't get them, man. I'm not saying all HDMI cables are made the same because that's not the case. There is a quality of, essentially ingredients in there. But really, the $10 ones, there's plenty of, Amazon Basics ones. Perfect.
Monoprice. I used to buy a ton of Monoprice. When our dollar was much better. Yeah. Buy tons of cables from Monoprice.
Yeah, generally if you get those Monoprice ones, or as long as you're not getting ones that are straight out of Hong Kong for 25 cents, those are the bad ones. Those are obviously the bad ones.
They're just poorly manufactured.
Yeah, that's exactly the point.
It's the material that's bad, and eventually
exactly.
You just won't get a signal.
Exactly. So there you go. But that has nothing to do with your question.
But for the time being, before that cable breaks because it's just a bad cable, the signal will not be degraded.
Yeah, it works fine until it breaks, which is inevitable. Tell the guy on the right to calm down, man. You gotta chill.
Scott, calm down.
Camera right.
Oh. Calm up.
He's a very aggressive Canadian.
It actually says, Rerez should just rage. It's awesome to watch.
Thank you for being here for this.
Yeah. I get really angry.
He gets so passionate.
He doesn't get angry, he gets passionate.
Actually, he's just hungry for cake. That's the problem right now.
What it is
he wants dessert.
I don't.
We're gonna get some dessert.
Well, I do like dessert, but I don't like when.
I do like dessert.
I don't like when stupid people take advantage of consumers.
Other stupid.
I don't. It's not because a consumer is trusting a company for a certain amount of credibility, and when they act like that, they're taking advantage of their customers for no other reason than the fact that they just can. And when you have a manager working at a company that knows that little about what they're selling, why the fuck are you working at?
Why don't you go back to that Radio Shack tonight?
Well, they're not around anymore because Radio Shack shut down here.
It's shut down in the States, but then they brought it back.
No, it's still gone here.
They brought it back in the States.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but I don't remember who. Somebody brought them back.
Oh, we went to a Source today. Did they turn into the Source? We went to a Source outlet store. We walked in, walked out. I'm like, nah. I haven't been one of those in years. I didn't even know it still existed.
I went there to buy some components. I just wish the Radio Shack was still around selling Radio Shack components. Why didn't... You know what really confused me about about Radio Shack? Why didn't it just become a store that sold computer parts and shit like that? You know what I mean? That didn't make any sense.
Like weird electronic parts. Yeah, that's what I used to go for.
Yeah, because I actually had to get some components and I had to order it online, not because I wanted to. Because you know what really sucks about ordering components online? You might get them for cheaper prices, but you need to go to the store to sometimes see what you need. Because I didn't know the price. For
it's called window shopping.
On the back of my PVM here, I've actually got a personal video monitor for television studio use and stuff, and this monitor has these little component pieces I need on the back, and I could only find them at Radio Shack, and I needed to go into the store to actively look at what I was getting so I knew what one fit into what. You can't do that online.
Well, that and they used to sell stuff you'd never get anywhere else.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless you found a specialty shop.
Wouldn't it have been great if they just went to what happened to Shane and Keemstar? See, that was a big deal.
That's a story for another time.
That is.
Me and Adam are gonna leave for a while Shane tells this story.
No, well, not on my channel. You're not.
Fucker. Keemstar apologized to me, and I apologized to Keemstar. Okay, that's all everyone needs to know. Settled. But the guy, all those components and pieces that you would need, you'd find them at the store, and it really sucked when you just lost that ability. And, and like, what? When I go to build a computer or anything like that, now I have to go to really weird stores that are just like, hey, you want some RAM? That'll be $15 and the head of a cow and stuff like that. Because it's like around here, we're losing stores that just have those components.
RAM? You're like, it's memory. Take it.
Yeah. I just wish they sold stuff like that again. Like, it would be great. Or
you
like
have Canada Computers around here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I can.
That's pretty much the only place to go now. But that's what a Radio Shack should have been.
Tiger Direct is gone.
Yeah.
And yeah.
That was fun to listen to.
Yeah.
All right. So we have a question. I know it's popped up a few times. Do we think Sonic Extreme for the Sega Saturn could have saved the Saturn?
No.
No. That's,
oh my God.
That's the correct answer. I think it could have. I mean, it didn't do anything for Japan. I mean, people forget the Saturn was retardedly popular in Japan. You couldn't have had it do much better than it did.
Well,
beautiful 2D system.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. There's a lot of. Again, I've talked about this in videos. The Saturn was a 2D powerhouse designed to basically have 3D bonus features in it. It wasn't designed to be a PlayStation or an N64. They were forced into that position.
Even before N64 came out, you go to the arcades, it'd be like Ultra 64 coming soon, Cruising USA, Killer Instinct.
Mm-hmm.
We go to the arcades and we're like, oh, we can't wait for the system to come out. And then it was after Super Nintendo, which was an amazing. It was back when Nintendo.
Bye, Shane.
I'm gonna get something.
Bye, Shane.
Keep talking.
It's back when Nintendo was the old good Nintendo, the better Nintendo.
But this is Sega Saturn we're talking about.
I know, but they didn't have a chance. Everybody wanted an N64. In Canada, Saturn had no market presence.
Saturn barely had a marketplace in all of North America. The Saturn was like right fucked just because of who was in charge. Bernie Stoller didn't want that console, and there's a long convoluted history there. I don't think even if you got the Shenmue version, the Saturn version of Shenmue out there, that would have helped. Sonic Adventure or Sonic Extreme probably wouldn't have helped much. It would have been cool to see them, but that's it.
But
I do have to address this real quick. Happy Console Gamer, hello, we see you. What's up, Johnny? He said, I hope you guys make out for Shenmue. Sorry, we're not going to do that, but we do like Shenmue. I do.
Hi,
you can get a rain check with Adam. But I will say this: if Saturn had not failed, Dreamcast wouldn't have happened the way that it happened.
This is the very first issue of the unofficial Dreamcast magazine. I bought this before the Dreamcast came out. I've got something on here that I think you guys are gonna love.
I don't know, man. I'm not easily impressed.
You're going to go.
Yeah, but you're easily amused.
I am. Hey, look, colors.
So,
look, the sky.
Whoa, a blue hedgehog.
Yeah, right. Okay. So there's this really cool part on here where they basically are trying to identify what's going to be in the Dreamcast and all that stuff. But what's amazing about this is, the bullshit detector. Now, I read this before the Dreamcast came out, okay? And I want to read this out to you guys, all right? As far as I know, no other channel online has ever talked about this, and I wanted to make this into a feature because I thought
breaking
it'd be
records for our channel.
Thank you for bringing it out. This is a unofficial Keep Dreaming episode. We just did another one. Welcome.
Okay. So here's the bullshit detector. This is before anything was known about the Dreamcast.
Yep. Except for full pictures of it.
The rumor. Quake 3 will be coming to Dreamcast and will let you log into a game and play alongside PC and Mac gamers. Detector reading 3.0 out of 10. So it was 3 pieces of bullshit. So there's an actual bull with shit coming out. So that's
Oh, he's shitting all right.
Oh, he's taking a dump.
So-
And it came true.
So they
You could do that.
I think that's his point.
Yeah.
Well, see,
Fantastic.
you couldn't play online with PC and Mac gamers.
I thought but not Mac. I thought with PC gamers you could.
I don't think that happened. But you could get Quake 3, which at the time they didn't know. So Quake 3
Amazing game.
did come out.
Such an amazing game.
But you could play it with a mouse and keyboard and stuff like that, right? So that did happen. Okay. The rumor: GT Interactive's recent PlayStation hit driver will hit the Dreamcast very soon after launch. Detector reading 2.0.
I like that game, but I hated getting out of the garage at the beginning.
Did that actually come out?
No.
On Dreamcast? Okay. Eidos Interactive's next big franchise game, Legacy... Eidos. Eidos Interactive's next big franchise game, Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver, is already up and running on the Dreamcast and looks fantastic. A detector rating, 1.5. So they didn't think that was going to happen. Not only is that the best version of the game that ever came out, except for the PC version, but the Dreamcast version had the best graphics, best sound, best everything.
Good game.
The sequel to that, at some point, the Dreamcast version was discovered, but the guy who has it doesn't want to leak it.
All right.
Oh, come on.
So this next one I love. Speaking of Lara Croft, there's some juicy gossip concerning her potential presence on Sega's box. Apparently, the exclusive contract between Eidos and Cora Design and Sony only concerns the Tomb Raider brand, and technically a Lara Croft game could be produced and released for Dreamcast. Detector rating, 5.0. They assumed it was never going to happen, and if you read on, they basically say it's not likely and it will never happen.
And it was last
They got two
Revelation
of
and
them.
Chronicles, I
Yep.
think that came
Yep.
out.
Yeah, they got 2. All right, you ready for the last one?
Nope.
Yep.
I love this one, all right? This one I read and I was like, never going to happen, and they said never going to happen either. There's a PlayStation emulator coming to the Dreamcast. Full on 10 out of the bullshit scale.
Bleem
And I've got it right over
cast.
there.
Dreamcast.
Yep.
Yep.
Did
All that
you end up
stuff-
getting all 3 of them?
I have the Gran Turismo and I have the Tekken. I'm
Yeah,
missing the Metal Gear
I have all
Solid.
3, but yeah.
The
Maybe I'll
only-
find it tomorrow at the Waterloo Video Game Swap.
Fun fact about that a lot of people don't know is that WWF SmackDown and Final Fantasy VII were completely finished. Completely. But they were never released because that's around the time that Bleem got out of it. But they were apparently completely done.
Yeah. And I think they had a ton of them. Weren't they just going to release
Originally,
disc that
the
played
plan was that they wanted to do game packs. So you would get this one disc that would have a list of 100 games it could support, and they were going to release 4 of them. So that's why there's this old ad that says, "Coming this summer, we'll release 400 new
Yeah, then they
games
got
on the
sued.
site." They did, but they didn't actually do anything wrong. They just kept getting sued until legal fees killed them off. That was Sony's plan because these guys knew what they were doing. They did not break the law. They were just sued on a bunch of bullshit. But that was the original plan. But with those episode packs, they basically realized there were too many games in there that it was too buggy. And they're like, PC gamers will deal with bugs because they're used to it. Console gamers, especially at that point in time,
The
were
testing involved would have been insane.
Oh yeah, that was the problem they were running into. They're like, console gamers just don't tolerate a lot of bugs in their games. Again, especially back then when you couldn't patch anything. So yeah, that's really why they ultimately went down to just 3 releases. And even though the company you have to give credit to that no one ever really remembers this for those 3 games ever getting released is EB Games. Because EB Games was the only retailer that was willing to sell them. Because Sony basically threatened every fucking retailer in North America. I don't know about Europe. And I don't even know if Bleemcast was released in Europe. I think it was. But they went to every retailer in North America and said, "You fucking better not sell any of this Bleemcast shit in your store. This is not allowed." And every one of them cowed down and said, "Okay." EB Games was the one company that responded by like, "No, fuck you. Not only are we going to sell them, if you come at us with this bullshit ever again, we will never sell PlayStation products in our store."
Yeah.
Sony backed the fuck off because they were like, I think it was something like 30-40% of their sales came out of EB Games at that point, and they were like, "Oh, okay."
And this is once again a really bad move on Sony's part. They should have allowed this to happen because remember, they lost money with every system they sold. They made money off the game, so they were like, "Wait, why are we doing this?" They're just buying the games and they're not buying our money losing systems.
I think what they realized is they not having that there, they would knock an enemy out of the park by getting rid of the Dreamcast. The
Yeah, but then they could
Dreamcast could have potentially saved the Dreamcast. It was possible.
You could have just burned the PlayStation games, right?
Yeah, that was all right. So there's this really old article that was written by Rand Linden. He's the guy who was the primary engineer of Bleemcast, where he was explaining why that's possible. He said that he's like, the file that actually is on the PlayStation discs that can't be read by anything other than a PlayStation, that's like essentially the copy protection. He said that is like super owned by Sony. He's like, to actually successfully replicate that so that the Dreamcast can only read legit copies would be wildly illegal. Whereas ironically, not putting it in there makes it legal. So that's why you could put in a copy of Bleemcast and then run a burned copy of Metal Gear Solid, no problem. It didn't know the difference. That was how they didn't break the law. He actually went to Sony at one point and was like, regardless if you want us to or not, we're doing this. I'm trying to see if it's cool that we put this file in there. That way at least you're still selling legit copies. But they wouldn't cooperate with him at all. There you go.
Yikes.
He's
well,
like,
Sony won in the end.
Yeah. So Sega was not... Sega's position obviously was a little different because Sega, obviously, when they had third-party developers, they always wanted, like any console maker, they expect royalties, But with Bleemcast, that wasn't the case because they were independent. But Sega's position on it was, hey, you shouldn't do that, man, whatever. I mean, they were helping them even though Sega was making no money off it. Sega just was like, it'll help sell more consoles. So there you go. I guess in the end, Rand Linden actually ended up doing a lot of PlayStation 2 emulation. I think he's actually working on PS4 hardware. Like I think he's one of the guys who's like building PS2 emulators for PS4.
I could probably see that happening.
Yeah, I think Sony ultimately hired him, so little happy ending for him, but sad for all of us Sega fans who really like the concept of Dreamcast, man. That shit was cool.
It really was.
But there was a leak of the PlayStation, the initial project, the 100 games on all disc thing. There was a leak of it where it was like the 35% complete beta, and the software doesn't lock out to any specific games, meaning it'll attempt to read any PlayStation disc you put in it, but results may vary. A lot of games don't work at all. A lot of games work a little bit, and then there's some games that work phenomenal, like Silent Hill. You play Silent Hill with that thing on the Dreamcast, especially when the game goes into nighttime mode. I don't know if you ever played Silent Hill. When the game goes into nighttime mode, it's fucking unreal how good it looks. You wouldn't like. I've never seen it look that good before. But then there's other parts of it that are like buggy and fucked up. Like it can't play FMVs. It can't even save.
I wonder if you could just do that with PCs now.
Oh, probably.
PC emulator,
but I mean,
pop the game in.
Oh yeah, but I'm talking about this was mind blowing
No,
in like 2003 when the Dreamcast beta broke. Anyway, we talked about that for quite some time. Let's get us some other questions here. What's Bleem? Well, we just did that, but yeah, I would suggest looking up. There's a lot of videos.
It's effectively a boot disc for your Dreamcast that lets you play specific PlayStation games.
Bleemcast is. Bleem was the first retail PlayStation emulator for PCs. Yeah, but it was a company. They were only around for like 3 years. Anybody see a question? Go for it. Other than what's a Bleemcast? You okay, Shane?
Yeah.
I think you took a lot out of him with that HDMI question. You seem so depressed now. You just look sad.
I read my magazine.
You don't have my mag?
Because
you
I
read
my
the
magazine.
Is that why you're depressed?
It made me sad because I remember buying that and being all like,
You were so nice and young and innocent.
I have the full official magazine set. I have the full European magazine set. I don't have that.
Well, I don't know how many issues of this one they released, but I remember buying this and being so excited because it was like, oh my god, like it's unofficial, so they're gonna give me like exclusive stuff that they can't say on the official magazine.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Those official rags.
Official. About my beard. Why do you guys always ask about my beard? I'm glad you guys noticed it, but no, I need to trim it. It's a little funky at the moment. What do you think? A little too much?
Funky beard?
Yeah, the thing about my beard, it grows 4 times the size of my hair. Like, at that rate. It's ridiculous. Like, you know how many times I've gone in to, like, get a haircut, and I'm just like, just the beard. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, just the beard.
I can't find a place that just does beards.
Yeah, it's, like, I'll go to, like, a Supercuts. Like, nothing fancy. But it's funny to them because most of the time, they're not used to doing beards. And then mine's, like, super thick. And then when you're like, I just want to cut the beard, sometimes they're like, shit, this is awesome. Because they never get to do that. That's like the Chase figure. Like, you never get that shit. Somebody who just wants a beard. Yakuza 6. Thoughts?
I've never played any of the Yakuza games whatsoever.
Neither have I.
Yeah, I haven't played much of them. I know that a lot of people consider them the Grand Theft Auto spiritual successor to Shenmue in a lot of ways. Yakuza 5 I wanted to get, but they never did a physical release of it in North America. They did it in Japan, and then like years later they did a digital version for North America. Yakuza 6, I think, is getting a physical PS4 release in North America, so I'll probably get that. There was some talk of actually limited run games doing a PS3 physical Yakuza 5, but who knows? I would bet that if they were going to make that happen, they'd have to talk to those guys in Sega of Europe there, because they're the only ones who give a shit.
Hey, it's Julian.
Hey, Julian, man, what's
Julian,
up?
What's up?
You
Hopefully you're coming to the swap tomorrow.
Where is he? I don't even see him.
It's right here. It says, hey, Scott, hey, Adam, hey, Shane. Want to know from each of you, which system do you want to buy that you currently do not own?
Neo Geo CD.
I don't know.
I'm trying to think. Boy.
I have a system that I know Adam wants that I have that he doesn't have, which is
that's half true.
Commodore Amiga CD32 Canadian release.
I do have a CD32. I have the British version, and that's because that's the most common. But admittedly,
mine is CIB.
It is. It is also the Canadian, meaning it's the only version of the NTSC model. But it's kind of useless because there's really no games for it. Where it kind of like the 64 DD.
3DO. I would want a 3DO.
Two of my neighbors had 3DOs growing up. We used to play Road Rash on it.
Road Rash is best on 3DO.
Yeah,
because you got all the extra scenes and stuff like that. Yeah.
Dude, come to my place. We'll play.
I can't think of a system that I would really want. Nintendo-wise, I'd probably say Virtual Boy, and the other one would probably be a Neo Geo system, just because I never had one.
Yeah, I would pick Neo Geo CD only because I have a Neo Geo AES.
What's the best Neo Geo system that they made?
That's open to interpretation. I'm sure most people would say AES. Neo Geo CD is more financially feasible, which is why they made it in the first place.
Yeah, okay.
But Neo Geo AES is really the one that had more support.
Actually, you know what? If I had... How much would I need? I think if I had $3,000 American, literally, if I just had $3,000 American, I know someone who is selling a Model 2 3DO. It's the 3DO that never got released.
Oh!
And he actually has one boxed.
It's not the M2, right?
The M2.
M2.
He actually has the M2.
Oh, wow.
And he's got a game for it, and he's willing to sell it, but he wants $3,000 for it, which is fun. Like, that's totally the right price for it. He's not, like, trying to game anybody, because that's exactly what he would have had to pay for it to get it. But it has the, it's boxed, sealed, so it's got the original weird joystick in it and all that stuff. Oh, wow.
Sealed?
That technology lived on in, like, ATM machines or something weird.
Coffee-making machines and stuff like that, yeah.
Like the Jaguar got turned into dental equipment.
Just like
weird
the white one?
futures. Like the...
Yeah, the white one.
I actually went to somebody's house, Buffalo Pinball, and they invited me to the house, and he's got an Atari Jaguar kiosk. And what he did was the Atari Jaguar that's inside, he actually got the molds for the dental equipment, and he put the Jaguar inside.
Oh, yeah, people do that.
Oh, wow.
So
Dude,
it looks really cool.
There were people buying...
Cool.
All right, so I guess what happened is a couple years ago, whoever the fuck this dental company was, decided to liquidate all of those cases. So a lot of people were buying them in bulk. I don't know if they're still there, but around the time I did my Jaguar video a couple years ago, you could fucking, no problem, find white cases for the Jaguar, like fucking pennies on eBay. It was great. Yeah, that'd be a cool thing. Somebody asked a good question. I just kind of missed it.
Yeah, you know what? I'll say this: if Rerez ever did that well, and my channel like actually blew up that much, I wouldn't be spending it on like shit like cars and stuff. I'd be buying weird stuff to make videos on.
Yeah.
Isn't that what you're already doing?
Well,
but he can't afford it.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah,
why are you putting that out there?
No, I'm
Jerk.
saying if you need to subscribe to his channel because he does these crazy, awesome videos on stuff you just never see.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell you're doing here. Go to his channel. My channel sucks. Fuck me, dude.
His channel's better. Both of them are better.
Scott's got one video. It's terrible.
It's still better than
It's the worst
mine.
video I've ever seen.
Hey, listen. I might have one video, but if you watch it, I'm having a lot of fun with my friends. We're jumping off cliffs.
What the hell's the point of fun?
Yeah,
I got work to do.
Yeah. Maybe you should jump off a cliff into a body of water and have some fun.
No, I'm busy. I have to make videos. We got too real here on you guys. I'm sorry.
Just got too real.
It got too real up in here.
I was expecting the Price is Right losing horn to come on.
Oh, and actually, this one's a little bit weird, but there is another game that I want. But you need to buy a combination of 3 seemingly irrelevant Japanese pieces of technology to combine them together to get the game to work. And I think the cost of all that together is about like $1,000 or $2,000.
Oh wow!
It's weird though because you need a specific optical disc player, you need a specific weird Japanese video game system, and then you need something that connects them together. And then once you do that, there was like 2 or 3 games released on it, and one of them is actually the direct descendant of what became flight simulators and stuff like that.
Oh wow!
So it's really it's bizarre, but
if anybody can make it happen, it's you.
Once again, like
you can hook it up, dude.
But it's like, dude,
get it done.
You need money. That's the
just
problem.
Get some.
If I did a Kickstarter and the Kickstarter was like Shane wants to buy weird shit, no one's gonna go like, oh, he wants to buy weird shit. Yeah, give him money.
You won't know till
you won't know. You get one of those fan funding deals. You're done. It's all good. They'll hook you up. These people are really nice.
Yeah.
Look what Scott pull the thing. Get the thing.
What thing?
Get the thing.
Yeah, but that's
look at that.
That's
Scott got the thing. Scott got.
I thank Nerd Junkies again for
you
that.
Were you literally showing the microphone?
I was showing it to the microphone. I like this microphone. I wanted to
I didn't notice that for sure.
But Scott got that.
Hear the disc.
Yeah,
hear the
like
disc.
this disc. He got that. They're gonna give you $3 million or whatever
Nerd
it is.
Junkies is awesome.
Yeah,
They got you. Derek's in the comments. He just said he's gonna quit his job and he's gonna work full time for you as a slave. You're all set. Thank you,
We're
Derek.
halfway there.
You got it. Hey, he's from the States, man. $1. He's gonna hook you up.
Yeah, $5 American dollars will buy that probably.
Yeah, probably.
Our Canadian dollars are.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, I didn't realize that. If it was, what would it be?
3,000 US is like 10 bazillion Canadian.
Yeah, $20 Canadian is actually 3,000 American, or 20 American is 3,000 Canadian. I missed that right.
So I mean, I got a $20 bill in my pocket. That's gonna go get this thing. Let's get it done.
3,000 American or 3,000 Canadian?
It was, I believe it was 3,000 American.
Is he in the States?
Whoa.
He's in Japan.
Oh.
Yeah. So you got to do the import stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I don't.
Well, no, I mean.
Here's the thing, man. You ever get it, you get it shipped to me. I don't have to pay duty. I don't even know what the fuck that is.
The thing is, I would honestly, I would just give the money back to the people that gave it to me once I resold it out there.
Hey,
it's literally
he's offering. He's offering.
Like it's not even.
I know he doesn't. This dude doesn't collect. This is the guy who wouldn't pay $100 for an N64 American DD prototype.
I don't collect.
Tells you a lot about his.
I don't collect games. What I like to do is I like to find the games, make videos on the games, and put the games back out there for as much as I bought them for, just to go back into the wild. That's what I care about. I don't care about like gaming the system or amassing this gigantic collection. Sometimes I donate some of the stuff I get to a video game museum or a personal computer museum, but that's it. And that's a museum where anyone can walk in and take a look at it for free.
Yeah, so basically, he's like a really nice version of SeaWorld. He goes out, he captures them, he shows them to you publicly, and then he releases them into the wild, and then they die because they were too fucked up. But it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, that's what happens.
You're basically
I'm a fucked up SeaWorld.
You're basically you're a fucked up SeaWorld, and you're gonna turn the 3DO2 into Keiko. It's okay, man.
Jeez.
Free Willy. No, he's a good dude. He wouldn't fuck up a whale. I don't think. I hope he wouldn't fuck up a whale.
I'm gonna plug the Waterloo video game swap that we're going to tomorrow.
The thing
We're
going there.
These two awesome guys are gonna be at the Waterloo video game swap tomorrow. It is amazing. There's gonna be 150 tables of video game awesome. $15 for a VIP ticket, which gets you in half an hour early.
$15 Canadian. That's like $6 US. Drive up.
Or $5 to get in. I strongly recommend you get the VIP tickets because the $10 you get, you most likely save on better deals. Getting in early can be everything. You can miss out on the best games, everything you want. Get in early, get that VIP ticket. There may be a few available.
A couple of power round questions here.
And hi to Jason Relaxation.
Yo, I saw you too, Jason. What's up?
Hey, Jason.
A couple of power round questions here. Did I bring anything to trade at the swap? No, I flew up, so limited amount of space. Samsung entered the console market. They did. It was called the Nuon. It did not exactly work out. He can tell you more about it.
We saw one of those today.
We saw one of the games. Am I going to get Sonic on Lego Dimensions? Funny thing about that, I was at Star Wars Celebration in London. Wasn't expecting to get recognized by anybody. I got recognized by this family of beer and board games fans from a different channel I work on. But as I was leaving, I got this dude just calls out my name. I'm like, hey, what's up? Long story short, the guy tells me, his name's Jordy. What's up? I hope you're watching. He turns out he is a developer for Lego Dimensions. He actually specifically created the Sonic the Hedgehog model in that game. And he was just like, yeah, if you ever need any Lego Dimensions stuff, I'll hook you up. So if I ever do any stuff with Lego Dimensions, 1,000% because Jordy was like, I got you, boy. I got you.
I'm being sent some of that stuff.
Yeah, Jordy, my boy, hooked you up.
I don't know if it's Jordy.
Oh, it was Jordy. It was all Jordy, man.
No, Julian said he's not coming to the swap.
What?
Julian,
Dude,
you got to find a way to get to the swap, man. It's only like 45 minutes away.
Hey, you got to come to the swap, man. I only,
Jason Relaxation, I hope you're coming.
Yeah, I hope you guys are going to be there. Come on, man. Take a fucking Uber. Let's go. It'll be cool. We'll hang out.
How much would the Uber cost be from like Toronto?
I don't know. It's banned in Mississauga, I think.
Is it really?
Yeah.
The fuck, guys?
At least it was. I don't know if it changed. I don't take Uber.
Yeah, all right. So we're trying to catch up a little. Going to Retropalooza, and it's in Arlington, Texas. When is that? Isn't it like the 1st and the 2nd of October or something?
I'm not.
Anyway, I'm not going to it.
I have another convention I'm going to, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at this point, way too late.
Oh wait, Julian's in Barrie now. Oh wow.
Oh dude, yeah, aren't you like?
Oh yeah, he told us he was moving up there.
Oh shit, dog. That's pretty far, isn't it?
It's probably about 2 hours, but
there's some sellers from there. Hop a ride.
Yeah, carpool, man.
What's the name of that guy?
Oh, Canadian Retro says Uber's not banned in Mississauga. Well, you know more than I do.
What's the name of the store up in Barrie?
Game Time.
Is that what it is?
I think it's Game Time. I don't know. I don't go to Barrie very often.
Yeah, I know that guy will be there. Hop a ride with him.
The guy that makes the soaps, right?
Yeah. What is that store?
I got
there is a guy. He watches me. You mention me and be like, "This is Adam's my boy." Show a photo of us together. It'll happen.
Jason asks, "How was Chicago pizza?" It was awesome.
Are you actually asking like Chicago, like the city, like where I'm from,
Chicago.
or like literally the place in Hamilton?
The Basketeer?
That can't be right.
Jason, if you saw my
No,
post,
like there's a
Chicago
game
style
store,
pizza in
though.
Hamilton
That's
is
his
awesome.
wife's business. This
sorry.
part.
Very good pizza. But I went to a pizza
it's
place in
probably- it must
Barrie
be the
called
same place.
Pie. I think it was called Pie. It was good.
I don't wanna just
Oh,
put up
Jason
the
said it's
number.
Power Up Gaming. Power Up Gaming.
Power Up Gaming.
that's
Yeah,
it.
Power Up
Yeah,
Gaming.
yeah,
There you go.
Contact Power Up Gaming. It might be a little short notice. That's the wrong side.
No, look, it's
That's the Game
yeah.
Boy
Look,
part.
it's Donkey Clean. See
Yes,
how it looks like a game.
I know.
It's-
I have a couple.
I'm telling them this looks like this cartridge is actually soap. It's not a real
wow.
game cartridge.
Yeah.
So it's
He
actually,
exclusively uses this to clean himself.
Oh, I got a couple of these. They go all over my balls. Trust me. No, I got it.
Oh, boy.
My balls have never been cleaner.
oh boy, it just keeps getting worse.
Oh, it's the best. No, I got a couple of those. I got like a Legend of Zelda N64 one, and then like a Pokemon Game Boy one. Yeah. Thank you everybody for acknowledging Power Up Gaming. See, fan community stuff. I'm telling you, they're legit.
Jason's
They know what
from
they're doing.
the area, so he's the one who hooked it up. Jason Relaxation.
No, from what area?
He's from the area of Power Up Gaming,
Oh,
so he knows the store.
oh, well then I'm not gonna play matchmaker
name
here,
is-
but Julian, you could contact Jason if you want, I guess. Maybe if Jason's up for it, but just throwing it out there. I'm done. People keep asking about Sonic Mania. We already talked about it. Long story short, the collector's edition looks cool, but it's a digital in the game. Fuck it.
And this will be uploaded later.
Yeah, exactly. You'll be able to see the whole thing later. Oh, they Oh, all right. Somebody asked if I knew 8-Bit Evolution had discontinued their backlit GBAs. No, I did a video on those. I should bring that next time. The screen.
Yeah, it's right over there.
Oh, you have one.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, Scott, you got to see this. The screen
seen
on
it.
these. Oh, what the fuck? Fuck it. Who cares? Nobody cares. Fuck it. I'm out.
Shane's cool though, so I'll look at it again.
Okay, good. Then I can talk about it. The screen is amazing on these things. It's unreal. Yours is cool. Mine was the Star Wars one.
What a beautiful looking system.
I had the Star Wars like Darth Vader look.
Did a video.
I did a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers pose with mine. That's how you can find my still.
Yeah. I did a video on this a while ago.
But you're not gonna turn it on for Scott? Wow.
I don't have
I've
any,
seen it before.
I don't have
Come
batteries
on now.
in it.
Oh wow.
See,
Bum,
I'm
bum,
a real
ba-dum,
gamer. I don't keep
ba-dum.
batteries in my electronics.
Neither do I, but I would
Smart
I would
guy.
find batteries and put them in there.
Yeah, you
God.
never leave it.
I never do that.
God.
What do I think about the HD Retrovision cables? Would I use them with the FrameMeister? Those are like the component cables for the Genesis, right?
Yeah.
And
What
the
the
Super Nintendo.
I'm sorry. Other than potentially convenience, what the fuck is the point?
Super Nintendo, I just use the SCART.
Yeah, that's
Genesis
exactly my
uses
point. Like
SCART.
I have a complete SCART RGB
SCART
base
HDMI.
setup.
The idea-
Component is really inconvenient to use.
Well, for me, I like the idea of having just another option out there, honestly, and I think that's what's
The
important.
problem is that does your TV accept the
Yeah,
240p
that's another
signal
thing.
on component?
Yeah, but you're okay.
Yeah.
You can't point at a
I
PVM.
can point
on-
to this.
You can't
You're
point
cool.
to. You
I got a
can't.
PVM.
All right, I'm saying.
What
I'm
do you
talking.
think?
All right,
It's
I
like
do
I
not.
don't.
Shane, you're usually the guy who's like, I want to talk about the market. Okay,
Jason,
market doesn't have a
I
fucking
will.
PVM.
That's fine, but it's like they're making it for me.
But yes, they're making it
They're
for you.
making a cable
But
for me. I'm
but
okay with
but they're making these retro. I don't know enough about the cables. I do apologize, but unless they upscale, the vast majority of the
They don't
time,
upscale.
okay, then the vast majority of TVs, monitors, etc. you have will not be compatible with those fucking cables, and you'll be like, what the hell is this? I don't want those things. I have no interest in them. I hate component cables. I mean, everything I'm trying to do, especially with the FrameMeister, is like get everything to the point where it runs through HDMI. And component always ends up being the big problem. And shout out to Julian. Thank you for that D-terminal cable, because that was the one thing that made all these component cables possible to run through the FrameMeister.
Julian's a good guy.
Yeah, Julian knows what's up.
Hope
Mike's
he
great.
Hopefully
Hopefully Sarah's. I doubt Sarah's watching. Shout out to her, Mike's girlfriend. But yeah, they're cool people. And you guys better come to the swap. Seriously, Scott, please message Jason.
Yeah, I said I would.
Oh, you would. I wasn't listening.
You were on some kind of rant.
I was. I don't know what the
blacked
fuck I
out.
was talking. I don't remember what we were saying. Something
Jason's a
about
good guy. We talk sometimes.
something about cake. There's cake. a while ago.
Cake.
Cake is good.
Yep, cake.
You look
Cake's
like-
coming soon,
Cake.
but we got to get there before it closes, though.
When did they close?
12.
Oh, we're good. All right, we'll go for 15 more minutes, and then it's cake.
Yeah, man.
15 minutes. You guys.
Cake.
All right, we're gonna go 15 minutes, and then he's gonna get cake. He's gonna get Belgian waffles.
I love Belgian waffles.
I'm not gonna do anything. I know what I look like.
He's gonna have coffee. He's gonna have more coffee.
I'm actually not.
caffeine.
I actually, you know,
Have
no
some more
shit. You know what I
caffeine.
want? I want a clean cup of water. That's what I
I know.
want.
Apparently, can't.
I'm
get
sorry.
out.
I tried that. I'm
Canada
sorry.
has like the most amount of fresh drinking
No,
water
no,
in
no.
the world, and you
The
can't
water.
get it.
No offense. The water at your house, fine. No problem. Water at that restaurant was toilet water.
No, Cambridge drinking water, you can't do it, man.
I know. I just did it. It was awful.
We
the
live
water softener. You need that.
we live in a bowl, so all the water filters down through rocks, so it's very mineralized. So.
Sucks.
Yeah. Our composite cables for
Julie and I will
PS2
after.
really. Are composite cables for PS2 really that good? They're not good at all. Get component cables, and they still suck balls. You will never get clean video out of the PS2. All you can do is make it slightly less shitty.
Yeah, get the PS3 60 gig model.
Yeah,
PS4
they're
not.
expensive, but if you actually give a crap about how your PS2 games look, PS3 60 gig model. It's expensive, but it's literally the best option.
Yeah, man, and it looks great.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah, the PS2 itself looks like fucking monkey ass. People hate me for saying that because it's like, you hate the PS2 when you say that. It's like, no, I'm acknowledging a demonstrable fact. The PS2 has fucking shit video output. It just does.
Wait, you know what's funny? Because there was like 4 games on the PlayStation 2 I really wanted to play. It was like Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, Shadow of the Colossus, and I think another one. And then Sony re-released them and remastered them for like the PlayStation 3, and I was like, well, I guess I don't need PlayStation 2 anymore. I mean, like, there's other games, but like, I just, you know, kind of went up.
Yeah, never mind. I was gonna say, Julian and Julian and Jason are trying to figure out each other.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
Should be a good time.
yeah. You guys should hang out. You'll party. Hey Adam, when were you with the My Life in Gaming guy? I met both of them at Too Many Games. You met them, right? Yeah. I've talked to them before. They helped me out a bit with the Framemeister video.
Julian and Jason,
Oh,
you're
wait.
both my
My Life
friends
in
on
Gaming?
Facebook.
My Life in Gaming
Just
used
look
to
on
be
my
on
friends
Rerez.
list. I'm sure you can find each
Fucking
other.
talk about them. What are you doing?
Oh yeah, My Life in Gaming kicks ass.
Yeah.
They're a fantastic show. If you guys don't know, check out My Life in Gaming. Check out Game Dave. Check out 8-Bit Duke. They all used to be on Rerez, and we all parted ways. But each one of them create an amazing show that I personally believe every one of their channels completely exceeds what Rerez is in every way. They do amazing content.
It's the most Canadian statement ever made.
Yeah.
And we're about to get another one. Why was I not invited?
To this, I didn't know you then.
No, I was expecting an apology. That's all.
Oh, sorry.
There we go. Okay.
See, you gotta
Sorry.
say no, sorry. Is that what
You guys want me to leave you guys alone for a bit?
A little bit would be nice,
Okay, no
Scott.
problem.
If you could get the fuck out of here, that'd be great. It's all right, man. How do I know what monkey ass looks like?
Not gonna
Because I've been to a zoo. You never been to a zoo? There's animals. They don't
remember
put clothes on them.
Do you guys remember like the first internet viral video where the monkey farts on his hand and smells it and falls off the tree?
Yeah, I remember
That's
that.
hilarious.
Yeah.
I totally half acted that out there too.
Yeah, it was not bad. You did the little hand gesture. You went the extra mile, man. The extra kilometer since
I didn't actually want to do it though, like the whole thing.
No, you didn't have to actually follow the chair and smell your farts. That's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't.
Be partially committed.
We don't need that. We good.
Yeah. Yes, the stream will be available after it's over. Don't worry, you can watch the whole thing. It'll probably take a little while to process, but it'll be up there. You know, we never even asked. Now that doesn't matter at this point. Video quality, sound quality. How well did Shane do? I'm betting he crushed it because usually I use like that shitty onboard like webcam on my laptop. Awful.
We're talking to an Art M2 that's connected to an XLR and audio box from a Steinberg machine, so it's like
all
I hope
gibberish
the
to
audio's
me.
good. The closer you get to it, the better it sounds. So you can get stuff that sounds like old time radio, but like that's you get really close to it. So
I didn't want to get.
Do you Mickey Mouse?
I'm not gonna do that.
do you make a
They don't want to hear it.
Yeah, they do.
What do you want me to say?
Okay, Scott, impressions you can do.
Nothing.
Nothing?
Not good at it. No.
The two I'm best known for are Stitch and Mickey Mouse, only because I do them on a
So
series.
doing both.
You gotta give me something to say. Because here's the thing about my Stitch and my Mickey
Hi,
Mouse.
my name's Adam.
They are no, that doesn't make sense. That's not them. They're incredibly vulgar. Like you go watch Disneyland Adventures on Game Society Pimps. I do it constantly over there. But it will destroy your childhood because it's nothing but it's like my Stitch is so rapey, it's ridiculous.
Okay, I want to
And my
hear
Mickey Mouse is like a corporate evil overlord. Like they're not good people.
I want to hear you say something naughty to Minnie Mouse. I guess that's what you want me to. That's what you want to do, Mickey to Minnie.
Let's see.
I'm not gonna tell you.
I
What
didn't even do anything yet.
I just heard the laugh.
Oh, golly, Minnie, you better get over here and suck my fucking dick, bitch.
Wow, see
That's pretty out there.
that is pretty harsh.
The only,
You really went for it there. You kind of.
I'll suck your dick. I'll suck anybody's dick. And it crap. Give me crap, motherfucker. I'm still.
and that's exactly why he doesn't get hard to do Disney voice
Oh yeah,
work.
they would never hire me.
Yeah, because somebody's gonna see this video after you do it, and they'll be like, "Did you see what he actually said on?"
No,
the
it's
stream?"
I can't. I mean, I would. I'd love to audition, but I'd have to do like nice versions, which I could do, but they're not interesting. Now, all right, I do have a story about this though. So we thought it would be kind of funny to do a change of pace on that show. Unlike episode 14, we did one called the kid-friendly episode. The entire basis, we really tried legitimately to like the game, never swear, never do anything like bad. And people were like, wow, when he actually doesn't talk like an asshole, it really sounds like Mickey. And by the end of the video, we completely crack up. We can't do it anymore. But the best part about that is I was in San Francisco like 2-3 weeks ago, and I was walking around a Safeway, which is like a grocery store out on the West Coast, right? And I saw like a box of like Mickey Mouse fruit roll-ups, and I like did my impression. I think I might have sent you the clip, possibly. And I did that, and like 10 seconds later, I hear like more Mickey Mouse, but coming from like the other side of the store. Out of curiosity, I was intrigued. I walked towards it, and I see this kid, like couldn't have been more than like 4 or 5 years old, sitting in a shopping cart. He's holding, a smartphone, and he's watching a video. It takes me about 5 seconds to realize he's watching the kid-friendly episode of Disneyland Adventures. So most of that episode is fine. Most of it's like, oh, gee, pal, let's go over and ride the ride. It's whatever. But by the end of it, I start screaming at the guy and like, I'm gonna fucking destroy you and rape your mother. Like, it gets like intense. And I was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here before that breaks. And like this kid's making a scene in a store where I'm technically responsible.
That is pretty extreme.
Yeah.
Okay, you got to do the Lilo one now.
I did Stitch.
Yeah, he did Stitch.
Oh, I did Stitch.
Lilo's a
can't
little
do Lilo.
girl. I can't do that.
Oh, come on now.
The only-
You can do anything.
the
You're
only-
Adam.
The only character I can do is 24 from Venture Brothers. That's it.
Oh, okay.
So like
Do it.
Hold on.
Take
I
your
got to get the dialogue.
No, you can read. You can't play videos back because of the
No.
content ID claim. I can do other characters, but nothing, frankly, is good. Like I could do like a fucking Jar Jar Binks, but you don't want to hear that.
I can't do nothing.
Yeah, if you give me like, I used to be able to do a lot of Beast Wars characters like Waspinator, but he sounds a lot like Stitch, so it's kind of hard to distinguish him. Megatron, Beast Wars era. Megatron, G1 era. I am Megatron. The problem with that one is it burns you out really quick. But if you have anything specific, I could probably do it. Oh yes, Megatron. Like I never know what the fuck to have him say. But God, that one really hurts. G1 Megatron burns my throat out real quick. Kermit the Frog, I thought I could do Kermit the Frog like a bit, but my Kermit the Frog sounds kind of retarded. Or hey, no, I can't fucking do it on command.
What
I
about
don't
Emmett
practice.
Brown? You do Emmett Brown?
No, I can't do Emmett Brown. I swear to God, I can do a Kermit the Frog, but I can't trigger into it. This has nothing to do with voice impressions, but since this came up, thoughts on the BioShock collection. I actually got flown out to that was the same San Francisco trip. I was flown out there by 2K to check out BioShock collection and Mafia 3. We ended up doing videos on it, again, on Game Study Pimp, so you can check them out. I fucking loved that collection, but I played it on Xbox One. Apparently the PC version has problems. I didn't know that, but that's not what they had me play. They had me play the Xbox One version. That was the most, frankly awkward private media game session I've ever had, because usually at those type of things what happens is they bring a bunch of people out and they have them all go in a shuttle bus to the same place. In that particular case, they had asked me if I wanted to do that and Mafia 3. I was the only person that said yes to both. So what that meant was they were like, Mafia 3 is going to be fine, there's going to be a bunch of people there, but you're the only one here for BioShock today. And I was like, oh, all right. So I was brought into this big room. I don't know how many of you have ever been to 2K's headquarters, but they literally exist in a bunch of old World War II airplane hangars that were retrofitted into a game studio. And it's fucking badass, by the way. And so they had this big ass room. I walk in, there's a single Xbox One on a table and a monitor, and there's no one else in there. They're like, go ahead and sit down. I was like, all right. So they're like, okay, so it's 10 o'clock now. We're gonna go till 5. You want me to sit there for 7 hours and just play there? Which I was like, this is great, But then they had, my liaison just sitting there. His whole job is, I'm just going to sit here and wait until you're done. And then they have, like, the tech guy who's just sitting there. I'm like, it was awkward. Like, if those games were awful, that would have been the worst thing ever. Having two people just essentially sitting there watching me play a game.
For 7 hours?
I played for 7 hours, and it was 7 great fucking hours because I love those 3 games. I couldn't even come close to finishing them. I had to ration my time because I needed enough footage of everything. But if that had, like, because usually those things are just like, they're in a big room full of tons of people. You can get up at any time, go get food, go do whatever. But when you have, like, just 2 other people in there, you're like, and they're both there just to watch you, that's fucking awkward. But
I think I did that with Far Cry Primal. But I didn't have
Toronto?
7 hours. Yeah, it was like 30 minutes to play the game.
Ubisoft's a little different. Like, Ubisoft has flown me out to Los Angeles for a Far Cry Primal event. But the only thing, it was, in that case, it was a 1-hour event. Like, very specifically. You had 1 hour maximum to play the game. That was a cool one because they set up this big, like, mammoth thing, and they put a car under it, and they, like, did a big pyrotechnic show where the mammoth just fucking crushes the car. It was badass, man.
Okay, I got dialogue from Venture Brothers. I was trying to find something, because this is, like, what they say.
Come on, if one female servicing a large group of males, that implies a species that lays eggs.
Oh my god, you're crazy! They're so obviously mammals!
Oh, please, she'd be an estrus 24/7 if she didn't lay eggs.
Smurfs don't lay eggs! I won't tell you this again! Papa Smurf has a fucking beard! They're mammals!
That's right, that's Kermit the Frog.
That's really
we
what that
discovered it again.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kermit the Frog.
We don't sound like Jim Henson Kermit. We sound like the guy who replaced him. Like, you know what I'm talking about? That we can do impressions of that guy, but I can't do the Jim Henson version.
Like, Henchman 24 sounds like this. I don't know, it's weird. And, oh, my dad's Nissan Stanza.
And stuff like that. Like, that's how we
Everyone
talk.
can do that voice.
Exactly, right? It's just
Except Scott.
No, I can't.
Oh, my God.
It's just Ray Romano, and he's sad all the time, you know?
Oh.
Yeah, it is.
My wife left me, and I'm alone now.
Derek, the reason I don't have a mic on GSP streams, I'm doing all the background operations, man. I don't even know what the fuck's happening on the stream most of the time. I'm dealing with, like, all the chat. I mean, that's why I got Scott the Canadian here. He's, like, helping moderate that shit. He actually played with you guys once. He did GoldenEye.
Yeah, I kicked ass.
Yeah, he
kicked
crushed
everybody's ass.
That was hilarious because Emery, the guy on the stream, he doesn't know who the fuck any of the admins are. He doesn't pay attention to any of that shit. Yeah, he doesn't know. So, like, we're literally playing the stream. One of the admins, Scott, kicks his ass in the game. And he's like, who the hell is Scott the Canadian? Why is he in our game? Why is he kicking my ass? What is this shit? This is a private server. And I'm like, I gave him the information because he's an admin, you retard.
Yeah, he gave me the password. I hopped on and
I was
kicked
like,
some
why
ass.
wouldn't I? The guy's an admin. He has every right to be there. But, whatever. Fuck Emery.
Adam got a lot of pleasure out of that.
Oh yes. I'm going to jack it later. It's going to be great.
No, you're gonna be at my house. Don't do that.
What do you? I'm not gonna do it here. I like Shane.
So is that it? Is that the end of the stream now? I think that's
it all dies on that joke. Okay. We'll do 2 minutes of power round questions. 2 minutes of power round questions, but it's gonna be quick answers on anything. So
and only talk in voices you can do. Scott.
Well, let's all do our
any voice.
Let's everybody answer as Kermit. All answers will be as Kermit.
Everybody has Kermit the Frog.
Kermit the Frog. Hey ho, everyone.
everybody,
Watch as
ask
the views
questions.
plummet. Absolutely plummet.
Absolutely just
What the
go
fuck
down.
happened to our audio?
I don't know. It just seemed died for some reason. It's funny. I can't think of anything to say. Right
Yeah, I
now.
know. I don't really have any. Kermit's not that in.
questions going on?
What the hell was that? Kermit, have you been drinking?
That sounds like a bit of a drunk Kermit there, Kermit.
I'm Kermit the Frog.
You sound like a Kermit that has sepsis, just a little bit slurring with the voice.
I forget who I sleep with.
Okay, legitimate question.
Sounds like
People
you've been hitting the pig a bit too much there.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
Miss Piggy.
People are asking about the Miss Piggy. Miss Piggy.
I can't do voices, man.
Actually, I'm going to attempt to do Miss Piggy instead of Kermit. Oh no! Kermit, how could you cheat on me, Kermit?
That's horrible because it's so good.
Thank you.
But I can't do the part where she like beefs up and like changes her voice. I can only do the whiny version, Kermit. But when she's like, back off my pig, like I can't do that one. I can't do. You know what I'm talking about? I can't do that shit.
Oh my god.
I don't know. Fuck! It's like mutating into the same voice.
If you guys want to meet us tomorrow, come down to the Waterloo video game swap.
All right, wait, hang on. We did promise.
And when you meant meet us, these two guys.
No. We're just this dude's entourage, man. We're just this dude's entourage. This is Scott the Canadian.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't know, the population up here is 36 million. This guy represents all of them. Technically, he's this dude's boss. Just saying. Like when the Queen goes, this guy's going on the money.
You know when you watch TV and Americans just don't know what's going on?
Huh?
He's thinking I'm in charge. There's something going on.
Not yet. The Queen is. After she's gone, it's all you.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
So that's the end of our stream.
No, wait.
today.
We have to do just a couple of power round questions because we said we would. But then, yes, we're out.
What do you think the NX is going to be named?
Ooh.
The NX is probably going to be named Please God Buy Us. Please God Buy it.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
Desperate? Wii U desperate.
we very desperate.
We very desperate.
Will you buy it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
We
one?
buy it.
We buy
Will
it.
I buy it?
You buy it. You buy
I
it.
want the old school console to come back. I don't want these gimmicks. Like not this gimmick, but I don't want the motion control. I don't want the screen control. I want the Wii U Pro controller and the system and the games. I want some wicked
Why don't they
games.
just release an NES with HD graphics?
We could put the ROMs in there.
Oh, they're doing that.
Oh,
That's what they're doing.
You know what's coming out? They're gonna call it the Wii 2.
we too.
Oh yeah.
Because that's what Tino Stark said.
Yep. Ever play Mega Man Legends? Sorry, I have not.
I haven't. Never played it.
The Sega Saturn crack. Go watch that video. That's pretty cool. Although unfortunately, there's no product as a result of it. But it's
How did
amazing.
Scott get his nickname?
Like we said on the previous stream, it all originates from a South Park joke. If you watch like the first two seasons, like it was the beginning of the second season of South Park, there was an episode where they go to Canada. Like the whole episode takes place in a fictional version of Canada, obviously. And in that logic of Canada, there's every Canadian's like essentially the same person. They're all super nice except for one guy. There's only one Canadian that's a jerk, and he's named Scott because there's only one. It's so low populated. There's only one person with every single name. And Scott was the only dick in all of Canada. He was known as Scott the Canadian.
I don't know what to say.
There you go.
I get no royalties from that.
No, you don't. They definitely stole your identity.
Yeah.
But
happens.
hey, can we say your last name? You cool with that? Because there's
Sure.
All right. So you guys ever see The Sandlot?
I have.
Tell them why that's good.
My name is Scott Small, and the main character in the movie is Scotty Smalls. Which is people call me Scotty Smalls. Actually, some people call me Biggie Smalls because Notorious B.I.G.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. That guy's super talented. I am not.
Well, you did do that cliff jumping video.
I was just happy to live. Jumping off that cliff into that body of water.
What are we even doing here anymore?
Yeah.
This
This could all be a dream.
This is all a very strange suggestion of comments and questions. And by that, everyone, bye-ho, everyone. Bye. Bye.
We have to end the stream, so.
That should hold over the little
Yeah, we gotta go get
SOBs.
some cake.
Wait, did this
Actually, I'm
not
getting
end?
Belgian and waffles.
No, yeah, we're gonna go hook up some cake, man.
Yeah, Jason, I will message you.
All right, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. This has been a lot of fun. I'm sorry that we're like stupid or whatever. I want to thank Shane and Scott for doing this, especially Shane for actually like hosting this shit. Bye, Shane. I see those, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy. All right, let me find. There we go. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.